and have a discussion on any matter whatsoever which arises from the conduct of the case. The law does not permit that. Actually, if I did that, the accused before court here, they could bring an application for my recusal, because they wouldn't be present in that meeting which the Black Lawyers Association wants to have with me. They could even also apply for the quashing of the proceedings on the basis that they are unconstitutional for me having entertained a discussion with a legal fraternity body. So that is the reason. But me, on reflection, and after some thoughts, I admit that my comments could be interpreted as intemperate, ill-advised, ill-considered, and offensive. And if that is the perception of the accused and their representatives and persons outside, even the public and the BLA, then I want to state that I unreservedly, without any conditions, withdraw the comments which I made in that Wednesday afternoon because of the events that played out here. And also, if I caused any offense to any person or organization, I also unreservedly apologize. And I also apologize also to the judge president of this division, Mr. Mlambo, and the DJP of this division, Mr. Aubrey Ledwaba, and if needs be also the Chief Justice, the judiciary, my colleagues, and even the Judicial Service Commission. And as an aside, the irony is the BLA, I, together with the late Godfrey Piche, Dikgang Moseneke, Sien Mushidi, Makambeni from Pretoria, Toli Vilagazi, Tansi, I think we were about 10. We conceptualized in 1977, 50 years ago, when the spirit of black consciousness was pervading the country. We conceptualized and formed the Black Lawyers Association. And I can brag a bit and say, I was in the steering committee. I and Moseneke drafted the Constitution. So I've been a member of the Black Lawyers Association since 1977 for the uninitiated. Okay. They're free, the Black Lawyers Association is free to write to the JP and discuss the matter. But as far as I'm concerned, that is the end of the matter. Except that Mr. Mgomezulu has written a letter of apology. Should I read it, sir?
That's correct.
Should I read it?
Yes, please.
Otherwise, I was just going to keep it to myself. Okay, here's the letter. It's dated the 20th March 2024 at 16:21. Good day, Judge Mokgoatlheng. The above matter refers Senzo Maiwa murder trial, Pretoria High Court, North Gauteng. I write this email to express my apology for my non-appearance in court. I had discussions with my colleagues last Friday whereby I asked Advocate Munyeki to stand in for me during the testimonies of Ms. Mokgoatlheng and the photographer. The request was adhered to by Advocate Munyeki. On Monday, I asked Mr. Ramosipidi to stand in for me, and he agreed in the presence of other counsels. I received instructions on an urgent basis wherein 74 motor vehicles were impounded, repossessed by the company called Bike Automobile SA Pty Ltd. I took this opportunity because I was not receiving fees for the past 5 months and legal aid South Africa declined to pay. I need to close the unpaid school fees for my daughter and my 2 sons and my house bond. Today at 16:15, I called Mr. Baloyi. He did not answer my call, but due to his professionalism, he returned my call and we had a discussion. However, before Advocate Baloyi returned my call, I called Ramos Tipili and sent him a WhatsApp message, but he did not respond. Furthermore, I called Advocate Moshololo, who also did not answer my call, but showed professionalism by returning my call at 9:30. I then asked her to speak to Ms. Selepe, whom I conveyed the message for the judge. I attempted to call the secretary, Ms. Rose Selepe, and I left a message. I do not have anything against your leadership since I have known you from Clemson House. I was on the 4th floor with Norman Masanabo, the late. I did not receive the transcript of the main trial and I have not consulted with accused 1. I ran a trial within a trial without going through the evidence of the main trial, and I'm proceeding with the main trial only with 636/10/2014 disclosure. That is the case. I have noticed that other counsels are offered assistance if they are engaged somewhere else, but different situation in my case. Kindly find room to accept my apology. I do not have any vendetta against your lordship. Regards, Tulani Ngumezulu. Okay,
That's not.
thanks. I regard the matter as closed. Yes, sir. Mr. Baloyi.
Manje ke bobaba ngaphambi kokuthi singaqala inkantolo nizokhumbula ukuthi beyingajabulelanga ukuthi umnumzana uNgomezulu akafika ngenkantolo. Manje inkantolo ithi lokho uma ingabe kuzwise unoma ubani ubuhlungu ithi iyaxolisa. Ngeke ngisakhuluma ngabo bonke labantu ukuthi inkantolo seyibashilo. Manje nomnumzana uNgomezulu usanda kuxolisa ngale ncwadi le efundwa inkantolo manje. Uthi kuleli cala usafisa ukuthi aqhubeke futhi akanayo into eyikuthi imphethe kabi ukuya ngalendlela eyikuthi inkantolo yayikade ikhulume ngakhona. Cela ukuthi singaqhubeka. Inkantolo nayo ithi lelo cala lelo daba la ngolesithathu iyalivala kusho ukuthi siyaqhubeka ngecala. As the court please.
Yeah, okay, yes, Mr.
As a court, please, my lord, before calling this witness, I just want to amplify the relevance of this witness evidence.
Yeah.
My lord, this witness works for the Road Traffic Management Corporation as an investigator. He has access to what is known as the NATIS system.
Okay.
This is the National Traffic Information System. Now, the National Traffic Information System contains particulars of the registered owners of motor vehicles. It gives their contact details. It also gives their addresses. Now, this witness is going to testify about the computer-generated extracts from the NATIS system. And my lord, the sole purpose of presenting this evidence is to refute the version of accused number 1. This witness is going to testify that and show those extracts of the application that was made by accused number 1 for a learner license, and this information was then captured on the NATIS system. And as I've intimated, my lord, this is to refute the version of the following version of accused number 1. During the evidence of Mr. Zungu, S.S. Zungu on the 8th of September 2023, page 27 to 28. The following was put by Mr. Ramusipili, and I'm going to refer to line 18. Mr. Ramusipili, accused one will state that in 2013 until March 2013, he was staying in Foslores Hostel at Basituni section, but when he lost employment in March 2013, he returned home and stayed home until he returned again to stay with his uncle in Tembisa in 2015. Then proceeding to page 28. Mr. Ramusipili then asked Mr. Zungu to comment. Then Mr. Zungu says the following: I would not know where he was working when he lost his employment. We have never discussed that. Now, my lord, the following is very important. Mr. Ramusipili says the following: the basis of that proposition to you is essentially this, that since March 2013, he has never returned to Johannesburg or Gauteng until 2015. That is the nub of the matter, my lord, and the state will then present evidence via this witness that shows that accused number one did apply for a learner license in person at Brakpan Driver's License Testing Center. The acronym DLTC is often used, on the 17th of July 2014, that he then undertook the learner's test on the 22nd of July 2014, but unfortunately he did not make it. That he then, on the same day, the 17th of July 2014, I'm sorry, on the 22nd of July 2014, made another appointment at the Boksburg License Testing Center, Boksburg DLTC. As I indicated, this is now on the 22nd of July 2014. And he then secured an appointment for the 15th of September 2014 to sit for the learner license. And that on the 15th of September 2014, he then passed his learner's.
I'm not sure if the
It's giving evidence.
state is leading evidence.
Yeah, it says he's telling the court and even you, as counsels, what he intends leading this witness upon.
Yes.
So the evidence will be led, according to him, by Mr. His name, by the way, is Mr.
It's Mr. Matlou.
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 M-A-T-L-O-U. Matlou.
Yeah, Matlou. Matlou, ne? Yes, you know the Matlou, who was a member of the Gang of Eight. Oh, you don't know him? Okay,
No,
fine.
no.
Yes, sir. There's an objection there.
Yes, my lord. As I said, I'm just with a broad brush, just outlining the relevance of this witness evidence, and I've covered that aspect. I'm not going to go into that.
Okay.
And we'll then refer to Section 17 of the National Road Traffic Act 93 of 96 that says a person must apply for a learner license in person as there's a certain questionnaire that the applicant must complete regarding the health status. Now, during his evidence, my lord, we also traverse the certain infringement notices that were issued to some of the accused, and the sole purpose thereof, my lord, is simply to show that the accused were stopped whilst driving the particular motor vehicles by a traffic officer.
Sorry, my lord, I'm going to do the same objection that my learned colleague.
Yeah, maybe just lead the
Yes.
witness.
Yes, as I say, I foresee that there'll be an objection, and I'm just trying to explain the reason why, and just so that everybody can follow the evidence, my lord. This is not giving evidence, I'm just outlining the evidence so that everybody can follow it.
What's your objection, Mr. Ramasipidi?
My lord, the summation that my learned colleague is giving comes from the affidavit of the witness. The
Is that
witness will testify about that.
Is
It's
that
not
so?
I've read the affidavits, my lord.
So what's the problem? I thought you didn't know what this witness was going to say.
But shouldn't
No,
the
you know
evi-
what this witness is going to say.
Shouldn't the evidence come from the witness?
No, no, I'm saying.
I do know.
You know.
Yes.
Okay. They say they know.
I'm almost done, my lord. And the state is then, as far as these computer-generated printouts are concerned, the state will be relying on the act that governs the printouts, and it's the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act 25 of 2002. There's also a decided case, my lord, of Ndlovu versus Minister of Correctional Services. It's a decision of the then Witwatersrand Local Division given by Judge Gauchi.
Procedure is totally wrong. Mr. Maloy, my colleague, Advocate Maloy, just needs to lead this witness. In an event that there's an objection, then he can respond. It
Yeah.
is unnecessary for him now to, even before this witness begin to profess testimony, to refer this court to a particular authority.
Okay.
That will only come if and when there's an objection with regard to the testimony of this witness.
Okay.
Otherwise, the presence of this witness here will be rendered very nugatory if Mr. Maloy persists on this
Yeah,
line.
but that's not evidence. Anyway, just lead the witness. Swear the witness in.
As a court, please, my lord, can I just make this point? In terms of section 150 at the beginning of the
Yeah, you-
of
you
evidence,
relay the
the state
facts.
can lay out
Yeah, I know
the
that.
basis of the case, and during the presentation of the evidence of any witness, there's nothing that stops
Maybe
the
let's read
state
section
from-
150. Let's read it.
Yes, but
Because maybe
as
some
I
of us
said,
don't know it.
That relates mainly to the opening statement.
Yes, yes, I know.
Right, the section reads as follows. Prosecutor may address court and adduce evidence. There's a heading. The prosecutor may, at any trial, before any evidence is adduced, address the court for the purpose of explaining the charge and indicating without comment to the court what evidence he intends adducing in support of the charge. Then subsection 2, the prosecutor may then examine the witness for the prosecution and adduce evidence as may be admissible to prove that the accused committed the offense referred to in the charge, or that he committed an offense of which he may be
Now that's
convicted
enough.
of the
That's
charge.
enough.
Yes.
The first portion covers what you're saying.
Yes. Okay.
Is that not so, Mr. Ramusipiti? Hello? Section 150 covers what this gentleman has been saying here. Try and lead the following evidence.
My lord, my understanding of the section, unfortunately this is written in a very small font. It says, without comment to the court, what evidence...
No, start the section from where it starts.
Okay. The prosecutor may at any trial,
Right.
before any evidence is adduced, address the court for the purposes of explaining the charge and, indicating without comment to the court what evidence he intends adducing in support of the charge. Without commenting. That's what I'm underlining, my lord. And also, this process is done at the commencement of the trial, not when a witness is seated before court.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I'm done, my lord, just
Yeah.
outlining. I was just showing the relevance of this.
Okay, quite, yeah, fine.
Thank you.
Your full name and surname?
I'm Chupe Christopher Batlou.
Do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
I have no objection.
If you do not have, do you swear that the evidence you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing else but the truth? If you do swear, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Witness sworn in, my lord. Please come to the front.
My lord, this witness is going to make use of his affidavits. He has made 2 affidavits, and he's going to refer to his affidavits, my lord. This will be in terms of section 212, subsection 3 of the Criminal Procedure Act, and section, if my learned friend can just give me time to finish, as well as section 15 of the Electronic Communication and Transaction Act,
Yeah,
25 of 2000.
25 of 2002.
Yes,
Hmm.
section 15, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Ngamalo.
My lord, I have a problem because when my colleague addressed the court, he referred to accused number 1. Hence, this evidence, the evidence of this witness also relate to my client, of which, my lord, I object on the basis that the evidence that is going to be tendered by this witness in respect of my client is irrelevant. It does not address the core issues in this case. Hence, we are dealing with the matter in relation to the 5 counts as per the indictment. Thank you.
You say the evidence you want to adduce from this.
Maybe, my lord, I do not intend to hijack the stage. Mr. Baloyi, in his address, informed the court that the testimony of this witness will only have an effect on accused number 1.
Yeah, he said so.
Thank you, my lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to also lead evidence against accused number 4?
No, I'm actually taken aback at these objections.
Yeah.
I was interrupted, my lord, when I was still trying
Oh,
to
you said going to come to
outline
number 4.
the relevance of the evidence.
Okay.
Now, they are saying the relevance hasn't been shown when they stopped me from showing the relevance.
Yeah, but
I'm baffled, my lord,
just
but-
listen to me.
But
You intend leading evidence against number 4 also?
all the accused, my lord.
Okay, all the accused. Fine.
Yes, all the accused.
Let's start, please.
Regarding the cell phone numbers,
Yeah, fine.
that links up with the evidence of Colonel Stein, as well as the addresses that they gave.
Okay. Because if the evidence is irrelevant, you counsel through cross-examination, you will demonstrate that. If he says the rain falls mainly on the plains of Ikobo, and for the past 100 years there was no rain there. That's it.
Yes.
Yes, let's continue.
As a court, please, my lord. As I've indicated, the witness has made 2 statements which are covered in terms of section 212,
Yeah.
subsection 3 of the Criminal Procedure Act,
Right.
as well as section 15 of the Electronic Communications Act
Okay.
that I've referred to, my lord.
Okay.
Thank you. The witness is also going to make use of the screen to do his presentations. If the system allows it, he will drill into the NATIS system and just to demonstrate his evidence.
Okay, fine.
And perhaps for the convenience of the court, we've also beg leave to hand the two affidavits that he's going to use, just to make it easier for the court to follow the evidence as well.
Thanks.
Ngamafuphi umnumzana uBaloyi ulibele uyachaza ukuthi ufakazi lona ubufakazi bakhe buzobonisa ukuthi nina nonke naningade nisebenzisa mhlawumbe ama-license noma ama-learners noma imoto lani yenamiswa khona ngamaphoyisa kulesikhathi lesi eyikuthi umnumzana uRamsey bekathe umsola wokuqala ngo-2013 ukuyofika 2015 wayekade engekho eGoli wayekade esekhaya. Ufakazi uzobonisa ukuthi umsola wokuqala wayekade ekhona nabanye kukhona okunye okusazoboniswa.
There's also, my lord, the Volkswagen Polo that featured in the confessions. The evidence of this witness will traverse a vehicle of that make, my lord.
Okay.
Nale moto iVW ekukhulunywe ngayo ngalesikhathi kugonyuluka kuthiwa nayo ubufakazi bayo buzobonakaliswa ukuthi leyo moto ekabani eyanini kanjalo. Bonke ubufakazi bakhe buchaza imininingwane yonke yomuntu oke wasebenzisa i-license noma umuntu oshayelayo. He has been sworn, yes.
Mr. Matlo, is that correct?
Yes, my lord.
That you have prepared two affidavits that I want to show you. The first one consists of 22 pages. And this,
I've got an objection, I think I can't allow this to continue unabated.
Yeah, what's the objection?
Mr. Baloyi, even before this witness starts to testify, he hands in an affidavit that is purported to have been written by this witness. Now, a section 212 affidavit simply replaces the oral testimony of this witness. But if the witness is there, then there's no need for that 212 affidavit unless Mr. Baloyi intends to introduce to the court, even before the testimony of this witness, the documents as annexures that are attached to the affidavit. But the affidavit itself should not be handed over to the court when the witness is here.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, what do you say?
well, my lord,
2 and 2, what does 2 and 2 say?
I should maybe read section 212, subsection 3. And it reads as follows. Whenever in criminal proceedings,
Yes.
the question arises whether any matter has been registered under any law or whether any fact or transaction has been recorded thereunder or whether anything connected therewith has been done thereunder, a document purporting to be an affidavit made by the person who in that affidavit alleges that he is the person upon whom the law in question confers the powers or imposes the duty to register such matter or to record such fact or transaction or to do anything connected therewith, and that he has registered the matter in question or that he has recorded the facts or transaction in question, or that he has done the thing connected therewith, or that he has satisfied himself that the matter in question, or that he has done the thing connected therewith, or that he has satisfied himself that the matter in question was registered, or that the fact or transaction in question was recorded, or that the thing connected therewith was done, shall, upon its mere production at such proceedings, be prima facie proof that such matter was registered, or as the case may be, that such fact or transaction was recorded, or that the thing connected therewith was done. But there's nothing, my lord, that stops the affidavit is by mere production admissible, but there's nothing that
Prima
stops
facie.
the state to lead viva voce evidence. This happened with the pathologist. There was no objection when the pathologist, my lord, read his affidavit in the record. And just,
There's a difference, my lord. This witness is not an expert.
well,
It's just a mere witness that comes from e-natives. He's not an expert. So that's the difference between him and
Are
a
you
pathologist.
agreeing that this witness is not an expert?
the state is going to contend that he's an expert on
Okay.
the e-notice system.
The contend is an expert.
Yeah, he's an investigator attached to the RTMC, and that he's an expert on the notice system. But
Yeah, you can bring evidence to dispute that.
yes,
No problem.
can I also perhaps just for clarity also put section 15 of the Electronic Communication Act on record, so that we are all on the on the same page. And it reads as follows: admissibility and evidential weight of data messages. And data messages, my lord, is defined in section 1 as data generated, sent, received, or stored by electronic means, and includes A, voice, where the voice is used in an automated transaction, and B, this is the one that we are relying on, a stored record. Now, the section itself reads as follows: section 15. The heading is admissibility and evidential weight of data messages. Subsection 15.1. In any legal proceedings, the rules of evidence must not be applied so as to deny the admissibility of a data message in evidence, A, on the mere ground that it is constituted by a data message, or B, if it is in the best evidence, if it is the best evidence that the person adducing it could reasonably be expected to obtain on the grounds that it is not in its original form. Subsection 2. Information in the form of data message must be given due evidential weight. Subsection 3. In assessing the evidential weight of a data message, regard must be had to A, the reliability of the manner in which the data message was generated, stored, or communicated. B, the reliability of the manner in which the integrity of the data message was maintained. C, the manner in which its originator was identified. And D, any other relevant factor. Then lastly, subsection 4, a data message made by a person in the ordinary course of business, or a copy or printout of or an extract from such data message certified to be correct by an officer in the service of such person, is on its mere production in any civil, criminal, administrative, or disciplinary proceedings under any law, the rules of self-regulatory organization, or any other law, or the common law, admissible in evidence against any person, and rebuttable proof of the facts contained in such record, copy, printout, or extract. That is section 15.
Okay.
If we can then maybe proceed with the evidence of the witness.
Yes, let's hear it.
Mr. Matlo, you've indicated that you've deposed to 2 affidavits regarding the matter. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Iqiniso ukuthi wena ubhale ama affidavit amabini ngaleli cala uthi yebo iqiniso.
I just want to show you your first affidavit consisting of 22 pages.
ngifisa ukubonisa i-affidavit yakho yokuqala enama-page awu-22.
And if I can draw your attention to the last page, page 22 of that affidavit.
Asiyeke ku-page 22 yaleyo affidavit.
Or maybe if we can start at page 21.
Asiqale ku-page 21.
There's a signature there. Whose signature is that?
It's my signature, my lord.
Kunala kusayinwe khona ubani osayine lapho uthi yimina osayinile.
And the next page, page 22, the affidavit was commissioned. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
What is the date thereof?
The 9th of October 2023.
Ku-page 22 kunala i-affidavit eyaqhufizwa istamp khona uthi iqiniso i-date yayithini uthi kwakuyi-9 zika-October 2023.
Are you the one who prepared this affidavit?
Yes, my
Already
lord.
confirmed that. And
Wena umuntu oyenzela lama affidavit uthi yebo,
do you confirm its correctness?
Yes, my lord.
uvumelana nayo ukuthi yonke into ebhale lapha iqiniso uthi yebo.
If I can draw your attention to the next affidavit that consists of 27 pages.
Asiye kwenye i-affidavit enama-page awu-27.
If I can ask you to refer to page 25 of 27.
Ngicela uye ku-page 25.
There appears a signature there. Whose signature is that?
It's my signature, my lord.
Kune-signature lapho ekabani uthe yami.
And the following page 26 and 27, the affidavit was commissioned. Is that correct?
Yes, my lord.
And what is the date on which it was commissioned?
23rd of September
La
Which year?
2023, my lord.
le affidavit kunalapho uthi yaqhishizwa istembe ya commissioniwa uthi yebo nini uthi nge-23 zika September nyakeni.
But we will return to these two affidavits just in a while. If you can just
As
put.
it is the court, my lord. Before this witness starts to face testimony, I would like to place it on record that these affidavits were already commissioned on the 9th of September 2023. The other one was commissioned on 22 September 2023, last year. We only received this information on Thursday, on Wednesday. I would also love the state to put it on record why from 23 September 2023 and 9 October 2023 this information was not made available to us. Therefore, on those pages, I would object that this information, that this witness should be proceeded with unless the state brings out reasons why this information was not disclosed then. Otherwise, this will constitute a trial by ambush. It constitutes a trial that is not fair to this accused persons. The state has been in possession of this document for almost 6 months, if my calculations are correct. You only gave them to us on Wednesday. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Matung.
My Lord, I really do not wish to cast aspersions on my colleagues, but this thing of, I've given you documents and they say they haven't received it. My Lord, last year, before we started with the evidence of the tracker expert, I personally came to this court, found my colleagues sitting here in court consulting, and I gave them this affidavit.
There's two affidavits.
Yeah, I remember in particular the one affidavit, my Lord. I'm
So
not
you
too
gave
sure
them
about
last
this.
year to.
Yes, last year.
Now they say they got them Thursday.
And out of courtesy, my Lord, just out of sheer courtesy, because we know that these things are misplaced, we then gave them again the same affidavit
When?
that I personally gave to them here in court last year, I think Mr. Dupree's evidence was around October, thereabouts. I personally gave them this affidavit. And as I say, my Lord, I really don't want to enter into a debate where we, we cast aspersions at each other, but I give my word
So
to the
according to the
court.
state, the-
I
the-
did
the-
personally.
Personally, gave them last
give-
year.
Yes. Give
Not
them
Thursday,
this-
not Thursday.
None. Well, Thursday, as I say, just out of courtesy, we
Give
know
them
that
other copies.
it's a long time ago, and I again gave them this affidavit. And Mr. Mnisi said on Wednesday he's ready.
He's ready enough to proceed
He
on
said we
Friday.
must postpone the case to today and not to Monday because he's ready. Now he's ready. He's saying, but he didn't have enough time to go through the affidavit.
As it please the court, madam. It's not a matter of trying to cast some aspersions. It's a matter of procedure. It is true that on Wednesday, I indicated that we'll be ready to proceed today, but I was not aware that we'll be confronted with information that we should have received already last year.
Okay, fine. So-
and I can tell the court, my
Mr.
lord,
Mnisi,
that if
Mr.
my
Mnisi.
memory is not bad, I never
Yeah, Mr.
received
Mnisi,
this
wait,
record,
wait.
and I cannot stand up here and mislead the court and say, I did not have this information when I actually received them. Maybe my colleagues received them. I'm speaking on behalf of myself, who's representing accused number 3. I never received this information.
Sorry, Mr. Did you give it to each and every of
Yes,
the representatives?
yes.
Each and everyone?
Yes,
Of the representative?
In fact, on that day, the investigating officer personally brought it in the morning. We made copies, and we then brought the copies along. And she sits here and she can vouch to that, my lord. We then
Is that the Sergeant
Mokgoatlheng.
Mokgoatlheng?
She was in court. Looks like
Oh,
she
she's not
stepped
here.
out.
She's
And-
not here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You say
Yeah.
she brought,
She
the
brought it
documents.
to me. Yes, she
But
brought
did she
it to
see
me.
you when you gave them to each and every one of them?
I cannot remember if she was present, but
You know what my problem is? I've got 2 officers of the court, or 5, 6, 7, 20. They're giving this court 2 different versions. And we want to dignify it by saying, we never got this. It means Baloyi is lying. If Baloyi tells this court that he gave you all this affidavit, and you say he never did, it means he is lying. It must be so. What's the problem, sir?
My lord, if I might clarify, without throwing Mr. Baloyi and Advocate Mnisi under the bus, I personally, my lord, received the one affidavit, not the second affidavit,
Where?
as Mr. Baloyi says, last year.
Last year?
already. Yes.
So he favors you. He just gives you alone. And he doesn't give
That's
the
why I
others.
say I'm not sure about
And
my
then
other
I see
colleagues.
you're standing up. So you,
Yes, I did receive the
Last
one.
year?
Yes, I did.
I please let's continue with this trial, Mr. Mnisi. If you want time to read these 2 affidavits, tell this court how many months or years you need, so that we postpone, especially for you, because you say you never received them until Thursday. So, Mr. Ramosipi, you said you received them last year.
Only one, my lord.
Fine. Mr. Numalo, now you received it last year.
I did receive it last year.
You wouldn't know, Mr. Mnyeke. Is that so?
I don't know.
So you want us to postpone for you, sir?
I'm not suggesting any postponement.
No, you say you haven't had time, in other words, to prepare.
No, those are not my words, my lord. I am saying that on account of the fact that these documents were already deposed to last year in
But he has
October.
explained, Mr.
Yes,
Mnisi.
and
Uthi,
yet-
he gave them to you last year. He has explained. What more must he say?
But I am telling the court as well, my lord, in
Yeah.
as much as Mr. Baloyi
So you
is
never
saying-
received them last year.
No, I never received
Fine.
the document because if I received them, I
how
would
much
have
time?
consulted with
How
Mr.
much
Mnisi
time do
on
you
that
need?
matter.
How much time do you need to read them and prepare? How much time?
My lord, I'm going to come up with a panacea, which is a universal solution. I don't want to waste this court's time. This witness may proceed to testify, and if there are issues that I think I need to take up with them as they would be affecting Mr. Nube, then I will approach the court with the amount of time that I may need to go and consult.
Didn't you guys have a pre-trial conference,
No.
Mr.
well, there was a pre-trial conference in Palm Ridge, my lord,
Ah.
where the matter initially appeared, but none of this Defense Counsel were present then.
Present.
Yeah, there was a different set of legal representative at the time. The call would recall that they only came into the picture after the matter started, you know.
Okay, fine. All right, so Mr. Mnisi, you say this witness can proceed. If there's any issue you want to canvass, you will do so.
Most definitely.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's go on. And even you, Mr. Ramsepi and Mr. Mgomezo, should this witness continue giving evidence?
That's correct.
Mnyeke?
That is
Lumali?
correct, my lord. Thank you.
Hey, madam. Yes, sir.
Mr. Matlow, where do you work?
I'm employed by the Road Traffic Management Corporation.
Usebenza phi uthi usebenzela i-Road Traffic Management Corporation.
In what capacity are you employed there?
I'm an investigator and I also hold a rank of superintendent in the National Traffic Anti-Corruption Unit, commonly known as NTACO.
Manje ke wena umsebenzi wakho wenzani uthi uyaphenya futhi yena ungu-superintendent Ningizimu Afrika yonke.
Can you set out your qualifications?
My lord, I hold a matric certificate, Bachelor of Administration degree,
Uthi unomatikuletsheni une-bachelor ye-administration
computer literacy certificate,
ne-certificate solwazi lwe-computer,
certificate in forensic and investigative auditing,
certificate sokuphenya,
and advanced certificate for fraud examination.
une-certificate esingaphezulu sokuphenya kwamacala wabantu abahwephilizayo.
I also hold traffic officer diploma,
Une-diploma yama-traffic wamaphoyisa wama-traffic cop.
My lord, I'm also certified as fraud examiner by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners.
Futhi yena ungumuntu oyikuthi unikiwe igunya noma amandla wokuthi angahle kube umuntu obhekayo abantu abayenza amacala, kakhulu amacala we-fraud.
I'm also a committee member of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners in Gauteng region.
Uyi-committee futhi yabantu ababhekayo amacala lawa we-fraud eGauteng.
That is the summary of my qualification, my lord.
Kamafuphi bona ubuchwepheshe bakhe.
Are you also regarded as a peace officer?
Yes, my lord.
Yena
Can you just
futhi
elaborate on that?
I'm appointed as a peace officer in terms of section 334 of the Criminal Procedure Act, Act number 51 of 1977.
yena futhi ubonakaliswa njengomuntu oyikuthi uhambisa izinto zomthetho kahle ngoxolo.
I'm also, my lord, appointed as a traffic officer in terms of section 3A of the National Road Traffic Act.
Futhi yena uyiphoyisa lomgwaqo lokho okubizwa ama-traffic police.
Act number 93 of 1996.
Ukuya ngomthetho sisekelo owaqedwa ngo-1996.
And can you put your experience on record?
My lord, I was first employed by the Department of Roads and Transport in Limpopo Province in February 2008.
Yena waqala ukusebenza eLimpopo ngo-2008.
I was appointed as admin officer assistant.
Yena ubekade eqashwe njengomuntu osizayo e-ofisini njenge-admin.
I was attached to NATI's Provincial Help Desk.
Yena ke wanikwa umsebenzi wokusebenza ngakwi-NATIS.
Can you just explain what does the acronym NATIS stand for?
NATIS is a National Traffic Information System, my lord.
uthi inatis lena i-National Traffic Information System.
It's a computerized register which support the National Road Traffic Act.
I-register eyukuthi yona iyaye isebenzisane nalo mthetho wama-traffic kuningizimu Afrika yonkana.
But we will revert to the notice just now. We can continue with the experience.
Okay, my lord, I work, my duties at the Natives Provincial Help Desk were to assist all the driving license testing center in Limpopo Province.
Yena umsebenzi wakhe kwakade kusiza ama department wonke lawo asebenza ngama driving license eLimpopo.
My lord, I was also introducing legally imported motor vehicles and build up motor vehicle on notice.
Naye futhi wayekade esiza kwimoto ebezikade zingena eMzansi Afrika zonkana ngakusemthethweni.
My lord, I worked for 1 year and 9 months, and after I resigned and joined Lepelleng Kumpi municipality.
Uye wasebenza unyaka neinyanga ezishagalolunye mayiqeda wayeka ke lapho umsebenzi wayosebenza eLepelle Ngumbi municipality.
I was employed by Lepelleng Kumpi municipality on November 2009.
Khona lapho kulo masipala weLepelle Ngumbi uye wasebenza kusukela ngo-2009.
My lord, I was attached to Mokgoatlheng driving license testing center.
Yena ke bambeka ke a driving license testing station yaseLebogong.
One of among my duties, my lord, was to assist members of the public with the application for learner's license and driving license.
Omunye womsebenzi wakhe bekukusiza abantu abazayo laphayana ngokuthi baze bakwazi ukufaka izicelo zama driver's license nama learner's license.
I was also assisting members of the public, my lord, particularly those that are within the jurisdiction of the municipality with the registration and licensing of motor vehicle.
Wayekade esiza futhi nabo abantu abahlala ngakuleyo ndawo le ayichazile ngokuthi imoto zabo zize zibhaliswe.
My lord, I worked for 1 year and 9 months for the municipality and I resigned.
Sebenze futhi unyaka neinyanga ezishagalolunye bese nalapho washiya emsebenzini.
My lord, in August 2011, I was employed by Tasima Pty Ltd.
Ngo-August 2011 uye waqashwa inkampani ebizwa iTasima Pty Ltd.
My lord, the company was contracted with the National Department of Transport to provide notice to all the provinces on behalf of the department.
Inkampani leyo yona yayikade isebenza ukuthi ithumele noma inikezele imisebenzi le ye-notice kuma department wonke iningizimu Afrika yonke.
My lord, my position was Notice Critical Transaction Center Officer.
Yena umsebenzi wakhe kwakade kuyi-Notice Critical
Transaction Center Officer.
Transaction Center Officer.
My lord, I was attached to Information Security Service Department.
Yena ke ubekade ebekwe ngalana la kuza khona ulwazi bese ke luyagcinwa.
One of among my duties, my lord, was to perform critical notice transaction on behalf of the National Department of Transport.
Omunye umsebenzi wakhe kwakuwukuthi yena abheke isimo ebesikade sibucayi lapho ngakuyo i-notice.
My lord, I was also expected to subscribe to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiner by attending seminars and conferences.
Futhi yena wayekade ehamba eya kwingqungquthela ebesikade abizelwa kuzo.
My lord, I was also expected to identify new trends and patterns of fraudulent activities on notice.
Futhi ke yena wayekade kwamele abheke nokuthi igebengu ziyenzani kuyo i-notice izinto ezintsha ezenzwayo.
My Lord, I worked for 3 years and 9 months for the company.
Usebenzele leyo nkampani iminyaka emithathu nezinyanga eziyishagalolunye.
I was then employed by the Road Traffic Management Corporation.
Ngemva kwalokho yena waqashwa yi-Road Traffic Management Corporation
In May 2015.
ngoMay 2015.
My Lord, my current position is as investigator.
Okwamanje umsebenzi wakhe ukuphenya.
One of among my other duties is to conduct anti-corruption operation nationally.
Omunye umsebenzi wakhe ukuthi yena abheke ukuthi akukho izinto ezingahambi kahle kuNingizimu Afrika yonkana.
To prepare necessary investigative reports and documentation, my Lord, for court cases.
Bese yena ubhala ke ama-report adingakalayo ukuze alethwe eyinkantolo.
My Lord, I'm also investigating fraud and corruption.
Yena uyaye aphenye futhi i-fraud nabantu ukuthi abayenzi izinto ngomthetho.
My Lord, I also appear and testify in official proceedings.
Naye uyaye afike azophana ngobufakazi kuyindawo ezicishe zifana nazo inkantolo.
My Lord, all in all, I have 16 years of experience working on the National Traffic Information System.
Ekuchaza ukuthi yena useka neminyaka eyishumi nesithupha elibele sebenza.
That is the summary of my background.
Ngamafuphi ikona ukuthi yena angasazisa bona ngaye.
Thank you, Mr. Matlo. Can you just explain how does the National Traffic Information System, or NATIS for short, work?
My Lord, the National Traffic Information System is a computerized register which supports the National Road Traffic Act.
Ake usichazisele ke ukuthi le NATIS ebekade ukhuluma ngayo ukuthi yona isebenza kanjani, uthi into ukuthi yona ihambiselana nawo umsebenzi lo owamaphoyisa awomgwaqo.
Each and every user, my Lord, who have got access to the system must undergo a training.
Wonke umuntu oyikuthi uyasebenza kuleyo system kwamele ayoqeqeshwa.
They must also sign the NATIS user undertaker, my Lord.
Kwamele labo bantu basayine futhi ukuthi bona bayavuma ukuthi bazosebenza ngayo iNATIS.
In that undertaker, my Lord, is that you are not allowed to share your password with anyone.
Lapho kulayi ukuthi bona bayasayina bavuma ukuthi ipassword yabo ngeke bayisebenzise nomunye umuntu.
And that the information contained in the register is strictly for official purpose.
Bese ke bayavuma nokuthi yonke into elapho kuyo yona leyo system eyabantu abasebenza ngayo kuphela.
And that if you suspect that your password or your NATIS user number is being compromised, you need to immediately alert the NATIS security officer.
Futhi ke uma ingabe wena uyacabangela noma ubona ingathi ipassword yakho ayisasetshenziswa wena wedwa, kwamele ubazise laba abasebenza ngayo iNATIS.
And that you'll be held liable for all the transactions that happened under your user number and the password.
Nokuthi futhi wena muntu lo onikwe leyo password, uma kunemibuzo ezayo ngale password yakho wena okwamele uphendule.
My Lord, before you are granted access, there must also be a letter from the institution which confirms that you are employed as such.
Ngaphambi kokuthi wena unganikwa yona leyo password noma ungakwazi ukusebenza lapho, kwamele uthole ubanike incwadi ebonisayo ukuthi wena ngempela uqashwe kanjani.
No one else has got access to NATIS except the authorized users.
Akusiwonke umuntu onalo igunya lokuthi angasebenzisa iNATIS ngaphandle kwalabo ukuthi banikwe lelo gunya.
If you say before you're granted access, there must be a letter from the association. Which association are you referring to?
My Lord, they are agents of the Department of Transport.
Uma ukhuluma ngokuthi ngaphambi kokuthi unganikwa leyo password kwamele uthole incwadi, ukhuluma ngomuphi umsebenzi ke uthi bakhona abasebenzayo abasebenza njengama agent wayo iNATIS.
Like, for example, my lord, the post office is also having the system. So the post office will write a letter to the department that we hereby apply for the access for this individual or official as will be working and assisting members of the public with the renewal of motor vehicle license disc.
Bese ke yena uyasho ukuthi i-post office yona njengoba ikuthi iyasebenza ngayo le notice ngokuthi isize abantu uma beyolungisa incwadi zabo zamaphepha wemoto nabo kwamele babe nayo leyo ncwadi le akhuluma ngayo.
My lord, even members of the South African Police Service, they have to undergo the same process and procedure in order to obtain access.
Namaphoyisa ke nabo kwamele baye kuyo kuleso sikolo la ukuthi bona bayabafundisa ukuze bakwazi ukuba nayo leyo password noma ukuze bakwazi ukusebenzisa le system yabo.
Is it clarified, my lord?
Yes, thank you. And have you been granted access to the notice system?
Yes, my lord, I have direct access to the system.
Wena ke unikiwe igunya na layo ukusebenzisa inotice uthi yebo?
Thank you. Having set out that background, can I then ask you to turn to page 1 of your affidavit that consists of 22 pages, paragraph 3.
Asiye ke ku page 1.
And maybe just before that, what type of information is stored on the notice system?
My lord, the information that is stored on notice is the personal particulars.
Kule notice system yini into ekuthi iyafakwa lapho uthi imininingwane yomuntu
such as sign name and initials,
fana nesibongo nama initials,
ID number,
yomuntu,
email address,
i-email address yakhe,
gender,
nokuthi umuntu wesifazane noma wesilisa,
your residential address,
nekheli la uhlala khona,
postal address,
ne-address yakho uma izinto ziphoselwa kuwe,
and the locality of the jurisdiction where you perform where you license your motor vehicles.
Nokuthi i-license yakho yemoto wena uyaye uyisebenzise kuphi noma uyenze kuphi uma uyoyilungisa.
My lord, it also contains the vehicle information.
Futhi iyabhalwa nokuthi imoto le oyisebenzisayo ithini.
It also contains the register of all the driving license testing centers.
Kubhalwe futhi nama register wama driving license center wonke.
It also contains the name of officials that are authorized to access the system.
Bese yona le notice iyasho nokuthi abubani abantu abanegunya lokuthi bangasebenzisa leyo system.
My lord, it also contains the infringement notices that were issued by the traffic officers on the road.
Nkosi yenkantolo ibhala futhi nokuthi umuntu uye wanikwa amathikiti amangaki emgaqweni.
And just explain what is an infringement notice.
My lord, the infringement notice is commonly known as traffic fine.
Le ncwadi le yakhuluma ngayo ayisho phecelezi athi infringement notice iwona amathikiti esiwatholayo emgaqweni.
You've mentioned all these details. What about the contact numbers?
My lord, the contact numbers of the applicant, they will also be inputted on the register.
Manje ukhulumile ngalo lonke lolo lwazi. Amanombolo womuntu wona ayavela na uthi yebo nawo ayavela.
Now, what happens, for instance, if a transaction is performed at the driver's license testing center at any given time?
My lord,
at any given place?
My lord, the system has been programmed to leave the audit trail for any transaction that is be performed.
Manje kwenzakalani ke uma kuba nento eyenziwayo kuleyo system noma kweyiphi indawo uthi leyo system izobonisa ukuthi kakade kwenziwani yenziwa ubani ekuphi.
Okay. We can proceed to paragraph 3 of your first affidavit.
Ngaya ke ku paragraph 3.
Can I read it out, my lord?
Yes.
My lord, I was on duty on Thursday, 18th of November 2020, when I received a request letter dated 2020-11-18 through the email from the Office of the National Commissioner. I was requested to assist with regards to investigation on suspect motor vehicle status, including infringement notices, as per Foslor's case 636/10/2014.
Uthi ke yena wayekade esemsebenzini nge 18 zika November 2020 la ukuthi uye wacelwa ukuthi ayenzeke, uye wacelwa nge-email ukuthi ayenze uphenyo ngemoto ethize ebekade kusolwa. Leyo moto leyo ibekade ihamba kuleli cala ele 636/10/2014.
My lord, I was also requested to document my findings in terms of section 212 of the Criminal Procedure Act, Act number 77, Act number 51 of 1977. As a direct result thereof, by virtue of my capacity as an investigator with the direct access to National Traffic Information System, which is NATIS, I hereby declare the following findings under Mr. Fiso Kutle Utuli. The ID number is 860110561286. Based on the request of Colonel Glinda, as per Foslor's case 636/10/2014.
Yena ke uye wacelwa nokuthi abhale phansi lezinto azozithola ngayo leyo moto leyo ukuthi uye waqhubeka waphenya. Manje ke yena uthole ulwazi ngoFiso Kuhle Ntuli oyikuthi uyabhala nayo i-ID number yakhe. Leso sicelo sasikade esithole kusuka ku Colonel Gininda ngecala i-636/10 yaka 2014.
Now, where did you obtain that name as well as the ID number from?
My lord, the name will also contain in the letter that was submitted or which was a part of the request forwarded to me.
Igama leli ne-ID number uzithole phi? Uthi ngizithole kuleya ncwadi le bengikade ngicelwa ukuthi ngiphenye ngaleli cala noma ngaleyo moto.
If I can then ask you to just turn to the second affidavit, page
Yeah,
9 thereof.
Kwi-affidavit yesibini ku page 9.
Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5, my lord, NATIS records indicate that ID number
Just read the whole thing. 5 start at 5.1.
5.1.
Yes.
Okay. 5 it's a Fiso Kutle Ntuli, ID number 860110561286. My lord, NATIS records indicate that this ID number belongs to F. Ntuli, thereafter referred to as an accused, and his cell phone number is 073-305-9202, and his address is 87 Dube Street, Wedville, Benoni. The postal code is 1516.
Manje ke kuthiwa kule affidavit yakhe yesibini lolu lwazi olukaFiso Kuhle Ntuli, yena i-ID number yakhe iyavela lapho futhi namanombolo wakhe wocingo ayavela lapho. Ikheli lakhe uFiso Kuhle Ntuli kuthiwa wayekade ehlala enumber 87 Dube Street eWatville eBenoni, postal code yakhona i-1516.
And where did you obtain these particulars?
My lord, these particulars I obtained them from the computerized register, which is NATIS.
Manje lolu lwazi wena ulithathaphi la kuvela inombolo yocingo nekheli uthi ngizithathe kule system esibiza iNATIS?
Are you able to go into the system now to show those particulars?
My Lord, if I will be given a moment, let me try to log in to the system.
Ungakwazi ukungena ke ku system usibonise lento ewuyishoyo uthi ngicela isikhashanyana ukuze ngikwazi ukungena kwi system.
See, my Lord, it's 21 past 11. Will this be an appropriate
No,
time to
let's go
take
on
the short?
because we wasted enough time in the morning.
Thank you.
What I'm doing here, my Lord, is that I'm going to input the ID number of the accused.
Okay.
Into engizoyenza lana Nkosi yenkantolo ukuthi ngizofaka inombolo yozaziso yakhe umsolwa.
Just recite it so that everybody can hear it. Otherwise, you'll have problems to say you put in an ID, we don't even know who it was.
So
Or-
if you can also put on record the name of the
Okay,
person.
the name of the accused is Mokgoatlheng Tuli. The ID number is 86011 056
Okay.
Manje uthi uzofaka ke i-ID number yakhe uFisokuhle Ntuli ID number 86011 0512086.
My Lord, the system, the way it has been programmed, that there is a menu for each and every transaction that you want to conduct on the system.
Isystem lena ngalendlela isebenza ngakhona kunezindlela eyikuthi iyaye izilandelele kuyo yonke into ofuna ukuyisebenza kuyo.
So if you want to check the person's particulars, you merely go to notice transaction 551 as it shows, as indicated on the top left.
Bese uma ingabe ufuna ukwazi ngalowo muntu uya ku notice 551 ibonakala lapho.
Then it says person's query.
Bese iyasho ukuthi lo muntu loyo uyena okufuneka ulwazi ngaye.
My Lord, if I query this person, there will also be an audit trail on the system that I did the query on the 22nd around 24 past 11.
Futhi ke njengoba ikuthi eyenza efaka lolwazi namuhla uzosho futhi nokuthi yena uye wangena kule system khona namuhla.
So now I'm just going to press enter so that I can able to access his personal particulars.
Manje ke uzo tofa ku enter ukuze kuvele yonke imininingwane yakhe.
These are his personal particulars and the personal address.
Iyavela ke yonke imininingwane ne address yakhe.
Can you just put them on record?
My Lord, if I may start from the top left, it says the identification type.
Phezulu ke iyasho ukuthi inhlobo yini ye-ID esetshenziswayo.
This simply means that when he was transacting on the system, he produced the Republic of South African ID.
Manje iyasho ke ukuthi ngalesikhathi efika kwi-system yena uye wakhipha umazisi waseMzansi Afrika.
The ID number will also be on record as 86-011-056-12086.
Iyabhala ke futhi ne-ID number njengoba asanda kuyifunda.
If you check on the next row, on the far left, it says person's particulars.
Bese lana iyasho ukuthi imininingwane yakhe lo muntu.
The nationality of this person is the South African.
Lo muntu lo okukhulunywa ngaye ungumuntu waseMzansi Afrika.
Gender is male.
Yena lo muntu loyo umuntu wesilisa.
Surname is Ntuli.
Isibongo sakhe uNtuli.
Initials is F.
Ama-initials wakhe u-F.
The full names were supposed to have been typed, but here it was not typed.
Amagama wakhe wonke bekwamele abhalwe lo muntu kodwa awabhalwanga ngokugcwala.
My Lord, from time to time when you apply for services at the Department of Transport, there is a form that is issued to you. So from time to time you will see a block which says official language of preference.
Sonke isikhathi umuntu uma eya eyolungisa noma evakashela i-Department of Traffic, yena kunefomu aze aligcwalise bese kunala lelo fomu libuza ukuthi lo muntu ufisa ukukhuluma ulimi.
So here his official language of preference is English.
Lana kubhalwe ukuthi umuntu yena uthe ufisa ukukhulunyiswa isiNgisi.
Sorry, for my appreciation. This information is supplied by the person himself.
Yes.
If he says Xhosa,
then it will be captured as such.
then if he says Zulu,
It will be captured as such, my Lord.
Shangan,
It will be captured as such, my Lord.
English,
It will be captured as such, my Lord.
right?
Manje inkantolo iyabuza ukuthi la izinto ukuthi zinikezelwe uyena nomuntu lo bekade evakashele laphayana kwi-Department of Traffic. Uma lo muntu engathi yena ufisa ukukhulunyiswa isiZulu, uyasho ukuthi izobhalwa kanjalo. Lo muntu uma engathi ufisa ukukhulunyiswa isiShangane kuthiwa izobhalwa kanjalo. NgesiXhosa izobhalwa na kanjalo ukuthi wayekade efise ukuthi akhulunyiswe luphi ulimi.
And how is this information furnished? Online, in person, or what is the position?
My Lord, let me just give you an example that you want to apply for a learner's license. When you approach the appropriate graded driving license testing center, immediately when you arrive, they ask you to produce your acceptable identification. Once you produce your acceptable identification, you will then be issued with a form marked LL1. In that form, Part A, they want you to fill in your personal particulars.
Manje ke ithi ngenze uyabuza umshushisi ukuthi lolo lwazi nilithola nina kuma computer noma umuntu uyafika uthi mhlawumbe umuntu uma engabe efuna ukufaka isicelo sokuba ne-learners, lo muntu loyo uma efika e-department yamaphoyisa yama-traffic, yena ke uyanikwa iform eyena alibiza u-LL1, yileli form eyikuthi liyagcwaliswa ngemva kokuthi umuntu sekabanikile umazisi wakhe.
My Lord, on that Part A of personal particular, you are expected to complete your ID number, your full names, your postal address, your physical address, as well as your contact number.
Khona lapho kulelo form ke uyacelwa ukuthi ufake igama lakho, isibongo sakho, ID number yakho, nekheli lala uhlala khona nekheli elizosetshenziswa uma ingabe uzodinga ukuthi uposelwe izinto
as well as the language of preference.
nolimi ewena ufisa ukuthi lisetshenziswe.
Okay, you can continue to place the information in the record.
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I'm continuing on the screen. The registering authority where he was transacting or where he was making an application, he is identified as Benoni.
Manje i-ofisi eyikuthi ube kade umtuli eye kulo kubonakala kwi-ofisi laseBenoni.
And the locality of the record is also Benoni.
La yonke lemininingwana ibhalwe khona kulapho eBenoni.
My lord, in this case, it simply means that if you need to retrieve a file of this accused, you need to approach the Benoni registering authority.
Ekuchaza ukuthi uma udinga ifayili lakhe lomuntu lona kwamele uye eBenoni.
And can you just maybe clarify what was this application for?
My lord, the accused is already holding a driving license, C1 driving license.
Manje ke ungachaza ukuthi lesicelo kwakade kuyisicelo sani uthi umsolo unayo ilicense.
Okay.
So, if I'm continuing with the screen, the date of change of address, this simply means that the address was changed in 2011-0905.
Nana ke kushiwo ilanga ukuthi ikheli lakhe untuli eyewashintsha ngalo kuthiwa ikheli yashintshwa ngo-2011 nyanga yesishagalolunye ilanga lesihlanu.
The status of the person, it shows that it's still active.
Kubonisa ke ukuthi lo muntu lona usayisebenzisa leyo license.
My lord, his date of birth is also there as 1986-0110.
Futhi ke kuyabonakala nelanga lakhe lokuzalwa ukuthi 1986-0110.
Cell phone number is 073-305-9202.
Nombolo yakhe yocingo ke ibonisa u-073-305-9202.
The local authority is still Benoni.
Futhi kusabonakalisa ukuthi lo muntu lona wayekade eseBenoni.
That is the system also asking that this person is allowed to move or merge or restricted, but here it says it's allowed to move or merge.
Kuyabonakala kuyasho ke isystem yakho ukuthi lo muntu lona uvunyelwe na ukuthi yena angahamba ey'ndaweni ezihlukene kuthiwa lana yebo uvunyelwe.
The person's status date here, my lord, is 2011-0905.
Lo muntu lona ke kubonakala ke ilanga kuthiwa ke beku-2011 ngena ngo-September nge-5.
The verification of address particulars here, it shows that we know.
Bese ke kuyashiwo ukuthi ikheli lakhe lona kuye kwayiwa na kwayohlolwa ukuthi lingalendlela kwakade elishilo ukuthi watha.
While we are still on the screen, my lord, we're going to the last row. The next row, not the last row, the next row, which says, or on the far left, it says person's address particulars.
Kuzoyiwa ke lana la kushiwo ke ukuthi umuntu loyo yena uhlala.
The information that was provided by accused as postal address is 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni.
Manje ke umsolwa yena ufike wabatshela ukuthi uhlala enumber 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni.
The postal code is 1516.
Postal code yalapho ke ithi 1516.
The street address is the same as the postal code, postal address.
Ikheli lakhe lala azoposelwa khona izinto liyafana nekheli lomgwaqo noma lala ahlala khona.
Which is 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni.
Ikheli lisafana lisathi 87 Dube Street eWaiteville, Benoni.
The postal code is 1516.
Postal code yafana nalapho 1516.
On the last row, my lord, it says other alias for the person entity.
Bese ke lana ezansi kugcwaliswa eminye imininingwane mayingabe ikhona.
In this case, is not, there is nothing because the person is a South African.
Lana ke akukho into ebhaliwe ngoba lo muntu okukhulunywa ngaye ungumuntu walapha eNingizimu Afrika.
That is that, my lord.
Thank you.
Uthi uphelela lapha.
Right. If I can then ask you then to return to affidavit page 2, the first affidavit consisting of 22 pages, paragraph A.
Okay.
Asiyeke kwi-affidavit yakho ku page 2.
My lord, the National Traffic Information System, NETIS, records indicate that an infringement, in the brackets, is a handwritten notice number 01-0011-0029400037-6 was issued to the alleged infringer and the motor vehicle identified below.
Manje ke lana kuyabonisa ukuthi kuye kwaba nethikiti ebelikade linikwe lo muntu nemoto lebekade ehamba ngayo.
If it says handwritten, what does that mean?
If it is handwritten, my lord, simply means that your traffic officer stopped you along the public road.
Manje ke lana njengoba ithi ibhalwe ngesandla kuchaza ukuthini kuthiwa amaphoyisa womgwaqo aye wakumisa emgaqweni
And issue you with the infringement notice, which is commonly known as the traffic ticket.
bona ke baye bakunika ke ithikiti lasemgaqweni.
Yes, you may proceed.
Okay. My lord, the particulars of the alleged infringer are as follows.
Imininingwane yakhe lo muntu obekade enikwa leli thikiti ekukhulunywa ngalo lana.
Beside them in initials is Mtuli F.
Isibongo nama initials uNtuli F.
Gender is male.
Umuntu wesilisa.
ID number is 8601105612086.
I-ID number ke eyakhe kuyashiwo ukuthi u-8601105612086.
The cell phone number is 0733059202.
Inombolo yocingo kuthiwa u-07330599202.
And where would these particulars have been derived from?
My lord, when you are stopped and you are supposed to be issued with the infringement notice, the traffic officer will first request their driving license. So your driving license contains your ID number, and the traffic officer is going to make use of that ID number to and input it on the handwritten notice. But when it comes to the address, the traffic officer, as well as the contact number, the traffic officer will ask you, what is your address? Then you provide the address. The reason of asking the traffic officer to ask you the address is because they also want to remind you with this notice that you need to pay it.
Manje ke lolu lwazi bazabe balithola phi amaphoyisa uthi amaphoyisa uma bekumisa emgaqweni bazocela ilicense yakho la ukuthi uyabanika bese ilicense yona inegama inama initials wakho inesibongo futhi ibe nenombolo yakho yolwaziso bona ke bese bacela ukheli lwakho. Isizathu sokuthi bacele ukheli lakho ukuthi baze bakwazi ukukhumbuza ukuthi unethikiti ekwamele ulikhokhe.
And the cell number?
They're also asking you your cell number.
Inombolo yakho yocingo yona bayithola phi uthi bayakucela nabo leyo nombolo yakho yocingo.
So who finishes the cell number?
In this case, my lord, is an accused.
Lana ke inombolo yocingo ubani obanikile ukuthi kwa banikwe umsolo.
Yes, you may continue.
The particulars of the motor vehicles that are linked to the infringement notice are shown below.
Imoto ke imininingwane yemoto ke ebekade imisiwe naku kukhulunywa ngayo lana ezansi.
My lord, the license number is BP, which is Bravo Papa 88 Romeo Hotel GP.
imoto lena ke i-number plate yakhona ithi BP 88RH GP.
The engine number is cubic golf one.
It's fine. We will come to that should it become necessary. You have certain annexures attached to your second affidavit. Is there a relevant annexure for this infringement notice?
In this case, my lord.
If I can ask you to turn to MCC3.
Kunezinto ekuthi uzifake ku-affidavit yakho ungasho na ukuthi khona into ekuthi ihambiselana nalo leli tikiti ekukhulunywa ngalo.
Yes, my lord. On annexure MCC 03 is the infringement notice that was issued at the time.
Uthi yebo kulobu bufakazi kubonisa itikiti leli elakhishwa ngaleso sikhathi.
Thank you. If I can ask you then to turn to page 3 of your affidavit, paragraph B.
The first affidavit or the second affidavit?
The first affidavit. I'm sorry.
Asiyeke ku page 3 ye affidavit yakho eyomqala.
I'm there, my lord.
Yes. I'll just put that on record.
Okay. My lord, the notice records reveal that the above-mentioned alleged infringer, while operating the above-identified motor vehicle on a public road situated in the city of Johannesburg, or the street A identified as Cleveland, date and time is 14 July 2013 at 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I've noted a typing error there. I said she instead of he. Was stopped and issued with infringement, which is a handwritten notice number 01-0011-0029400037-6 by traffic officer identified as B. Matsila. The officer infrastructure number is 495128C4, and the traffic officer was attached to JMPD issuing authority on the date in question.
My lord, I'm seated here and wondering if I'm actually able to follow the testimony of this witness here. Maybe because the state is always ready to read the provisions from the Criminal Procedure Act. I would request the state to read the provisions of Section 210 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Maybe that will give this court, my colleagues and myself, a bit of a clue as to the nature of this.
I'm following the evidence. Everything. Even when he briefs, I'm following.
As it pleases the court, my lord, then let me go specific to my reason why I'm standing up.
They say they don't understand what your witness is saying. In other words.
I'm saying, my lord, let me go briefly to the reason why I'm standing up. This trial is about the scene or the incident that took place, forceful arrest, the date on which is the 26th of October 2014. This is what this trial is, this court is seized with.
Mnisi,
I cannot.
Sorry.
Yes, my lord.
You can't tell the state how to lead its evidence. If it starts 1652, when Jan van Riebeeck came here,
yes,
we don't know where he's going to.
That is the
because
reason.
let me tell you, this trial is so prolonged because people don't want to admit even the obvious. Just wait. I mean, like that's what I was asking you. Didn't you guys have a pre-trial? Like for instance, if you understand that there is an electronic system called NATIS, and this is how it functions. Once the state tells you we've got your client's particulars here, which were printed through the electronic system of NATIS,
yes,
you admit this thing, all of you. Now you must read all this, which is so obvious to me anyway.
Let me try to assist on that, madam. Probably it would have been very prudent for the state. Immediately the court asked that to request an adjournment, approached us find out whether we cannot meet each other halfway to reduce what is happening here. Because precisely that's my point. My point is all that is happening here is now irrelevant in respect of the charges that these accused persons are facing. And that is encapsulated in terms of section 210 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Maybe it will be an opportune time, my lord, to adjourn, discuss the matter and find out whether can't we really meet each other halfway in order to reduce what is happening here.
Mr. Sibanda and Mr. Balui, they say all that you are pleading here is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Section 210 says irrelevant evidence should not be led, neither evidence which won't contribute to the solution or the proof or the verification of the accident which is adduced.
That is why, my lord, at the beginning I tried to address the court so as to show the relevance of the evidence, and they then objected. Now they say they don't understand the relevance of the evidence. If only they gave me the as a court.
Anyway, listen to me. Is it irrelevant, like Mr. Mnisi saying it's irrelevant?
No, it's relevant, my lord. I've indicated that the cell numbers will tie up with the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Stay.
As it please the court, my lord. I find it very irrelevant to lead evidence.
No, Mr. Mnisi. You're wrong. You're wrong. Please. You can't make a statement that this evidence is irrelevant when the person who adduces that evidence says it is relevant. You, the onus is on you thereafter to show that it was irrelevant by a cross-examination. No problem. By a cross-examination, you can show that this is irrelevant. But I can't stop Mr. Baloi and Sibande reading this evidence when they tell me that it is relevant. It is in proof of what their case or the charge sheet is about.
May I, my lord, request an indulgence just to finish what I've started. I'm saying it is relevant in the following sense. These charges that all these persons that these accused are facing here, they've got nothing to do with traffic offenses.
I don't know.
It is there in the indictment, my lord.
I don't know.
And also in the summary of the substantial facts.
I'm overruling that. As it is the state says it's relevant.
Yes.
He said he was enunciating why he is saying this evidence should be led is to link this and this and that and that and that. And then Mr. Ramasipidi stood up and said, hey, this guy is reading evidence now. He's now testifying. And Mr. Baloi says he was trying to do that exercise in order to show how this witness's evidence links to the charge, whatever charge. Is that what you're saying?
Indeed, my lord.
I can't stop him.
Thank you, my lord. I will respect the court's order.
I can't stop him.
This is not at all about the infringement notices. It's about the information that was given by the person who was stopped by a traffic officer. That's the simple fact of the matter.
Well, amongst other things, and I mustn't be accused of giving evidence. Yes. When you were resuscitating and enunciating how you intend linking, you pertinently mentioned that the defense of accused number 1 is that he was not in Gauteng.
Yes, indeed.
And then etc., etc., etc. We are going to show that he was in Gauteng when he says from 215, etc., etc., he was in Gauteng, he was where. Can you proceed?
Indeed, my lord. You can continue, sir.
I understand that the court, my lord, is referring to the fact that Mr. Baloi, when he indicated at the beginning, it was about accused number 1. But as this witness is testifying, he's referring to accused number 5, Mr. Ntuli. Accused number 1 is Mr. Sibia.
No. He actually said the evidence of this witness is in relation to all the accused. Did you say that, sir?
Indeed, my lord.
Hey, man, let's not waste time.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify.
Next.
Can you turn to page 5 of exhibit, the first statement, page 5, paragraph H.
Okay. I'll see you go page 5, paragraph H.
Page 5.
It's page 5, paragraph H of the first affidavit.
My Lord, Netis records indicate that Mr. Fiso Mokgoatlheng, ID number 860110561208 was issued with infringement, which is the handwritten notice number 01-0011-01-0164689990-0 by a traffic officer identified as MJ Stofield.
Yes, attached to?
The officers attached to JMPD issuing authority.
Yes.
Kuthiwa ke umnumzana uFiso Mokgoatlheng uye wanikwa itikiti MJ Stofile osebenzela iJMPD ungamaphoyisa womgwaqo wase-Gauteng.
Yes.
The particulars of the infringement are shown below.
Nayi imininingwana iyalandela ukuthi lelo tikiti kwakade kuyelani.
It indicates that sign name is Ntuli, initials is F, the ID number is 860110561286, and the license code that he holds is C1, and his contact number is 073-3059-202.
The address?
The address is 87 Dewey Street, Waiteville, Benoni. The postal code is 1516.
Lelo tikiti ke lichaza imininingwana yakhe F Ntuli ukuthi liyasho libhalene namanombolo wakhe wocingo nenombolo yakhe yozaziso bese ke kwabhalwa nekheli lakhe ku-87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni.
And the motor vehicle particulars?
And the motor vehicle particulars, here it shows that it was affixed with the temporary permit number EKG 615GP. And the description of the vehicle is Volkswagen hatchback. The series number is not captured here, but the color of the vehicle is white.
Kuthiwa ke imoto ebekade ehamba ngayo uNtuli kwakade kuyimoto ye-VW ukuthi akubhalwanga ke ukuthi inhlobo yini ye-VW kodwa yona yayikade imhlophe ngombala.
Yes. And the date of the infringement?
The date of infringement, my lord, is the 2nd of February 2016.
Kuthiwa ke itikiti lelo lakhishwa nge-2 zika February ngo-2016.
Yes. If I can ask you then to turn to page 6.
Asiyeke ku page 6.
Paragraph K.
Paragraph K. My lord, National Traffic Information System latest records further indicate that an infringement notice number 01-0011-0168-163-848 was issued to Mr. Fiso Mokgoatlheng, ID number 860110561208 by traffic officer identified as M.A. Mudisani. The officer is also attached to JMPD issuing authority.
Ubonisa lana ukuthi futhi uNtulu uyawanikwa itikiti ebekade enikwa M.A. Mudisana naye usebenza ku-JMPD.
Page 7, if you can just turn to page 7. Just put only the name of the driver, the address, cell phone number, and the particulars of the vehicle, and the date of the infringement.
Okay. My lord, the surname of the infringer is Ntuli, and initials is F. The ID number is 860110561208. The license code is C1. The address is 87 Dube Street, Waiteville, Benoni. The postal code is 1516. His cell phone number is 073-305-9202. The motor vehicle particulars in question is, the license number here is CT79YZGP. It's also a hatchback. Here it's a tail of the vehicle. It's 1570, and it's a Volkswagen. Series is VW250 Polo. The color here is gray.
lana ke uyafunda imininingwana yakhe u-F Mtuli bese ke ufunda nemininingwana yemoto kuthiwa imoto kakade kuyi-VW ebekade i-grey yona i-number plate yakhona ibekade ithi CT79YZGP yona leyo moto kwakade kuyi-VW e-grey.
You mentioned in paragraph H that this was also a handwritten notice, in other words, where a person was stopped by a traffic officer.
Nalapho ke ushilo ukuthi la iphoyisa liye lamisa uNtuli emgaqweni lamnika ithikithi yayo leyo moto leyo.
And the information regarding the cell phone number and address, where would that information
It's
have
furnished,
come
it's
from?
furnished by my lord by the motorist.
Manje imininingwana ukufana nombolo yocingo nekheli lona lithathwa phi kuthiwa umuntu oshayela leyo moto uyena ozonika amaphoyisa leyo mininingwana.
Are you able to go into the system just to check the color of this particular vehicle?
Ungakwazi ukuya ku-system usitshele ukuthi umbala waleyo moto wakade unjani.
Yes, my lord, I'm looking in.
Ukuthi yebo ngisavula i-system.
My lord, like I've already explained that on notice, immediately when you logged in, there's a menu for each and everything transaction that you want to perform. But simply because I was requested to check the color of the vehicle, then I'll go to the first menu, which is motor vehicles.
Ukuthi njengoba sengachazile ukuthi uma kuvula ne-system ye-notice kuba yonke into ongathanda ukuyibheka ngemoto kodwa manje ngoba ucela ukuthi abheke ukuthi umbala wemoto wawunjani uzoya la kubhalwe motor vehicle.
Then I'll simply press 1 and press enter.
Uzofaka lana 1 ekuyikuthi imoto laphayana bese ufaka u-enter.
Then if you can check from 12, 14, 15, 16, on the 16 it says queries.
Uma ungabheka lana ku-12, 14, 15, 16, lana ku-16 ithi queries.
Then I'll go to 164, which, or if you can check on the top left, it says 164 motor vehicle, all owners query.
Lana ke ibhalwe ke u-164 ithi konke okudingekalayo ngayo leyo moto leyo.
Then I'm going to input the license number, which is CT79YZGP.
Uzofaka ke i-number plate yayo leyo moto leyo ku-CT79 YZGP.
CT79 YZGP. My lord, if you can check from the bottom, it says license number, it says no record that match the search criteria were found.
Manje ke lana ezansi
So, okay.
la kubhalwe license number kuthiwa ayikho imininingwana ehambiselana naleyo moto.
So then I'm going to check it on the previous, as a previous license number under option 5.
Njengoba kunjena uzoya ke lana ku number 5 afake ke ukuthi leyo moto kwazi ukuthi kubhene imininingwana yakhona.
CT79 YZGP. My lord, because the menu that I've selected, it says motor vehicle owners queries. It will first show you all the owners from the bottom to the top.
Manje ke njengoba ebekade efake lana ukuthi lonke ulwazi ngaleyo moto izobonisa bonke abantu abake abanikazi baleyo moto kusukela umuntu oqala uyofika kowo.
But because our interest is on color, I'm simply going to press enter to check the color of this vehicle.
Sizobheka ke umbala waleyo moto.
And also perhaps just the particulars of the make of the vehicle.
My lord, I've opened the page for the purpose of record. The current license number of this vehicle is GPP 660EC.
Manje ke lana ibonisa ke ukuthi inombolo plate yaleyo moto ngaleso current
Current one is.
manje leyo moto leyo inumber plate yakhona ithi JPP 606EC.
G, not J. Is it J or G?
C.
J.
J for Juliet.
J.
J, man.
J.
Okay, fine. JPP.
Yes,
Okay, thank
660EC.
Yes.
The chassis number is AAV.
No, it's fine. Just the make of the vehicle.
Okay. My lord, the make of vehicle
And the color.
is Volkswagen. The series is VW250 Polo.
Moto ke leyo yona kuyabonakala ukuthi VW Polo
The color is silver.
ibonakala ke ukuthi umbala wakhona usilver.
Thank you. Thank you. If I can then ask you to turn back to your affidavit on page 7.
Asibuyele ke kwi-affidavit yakho ku page 7.
Paragraph L.
My lord, Natis records reveal that the motor vehicle with the description as hatchback make Volkswagen series VW250 Polo with license number CT79YZGP, silver in color. The lawful title holder on the date in question was BMW Finance Services. The Natis business registration number is 9004670070228. And the lawful owner was Nakoma Fleet and Shuttle. Natis business registration certificate number is Z0912429200013. The full particulars of the previous owner and the current owner of the license number CT79YZGP, which is currently changed to JPP660EC, are shown on page 8 of of 22.
Manje ke lana kuyabonisa ke ukuthi imoto lena iVW iPolo le kukhulunywa ngayo inomber plate yakhona ku CT79 VY le esilver ngombala. Umnikazi wayo ngaleso sikhathi kwakade kuyi BMW Finance Service laba abasizayo uma umuntu efaka isicelo seyimali bese ke liyabonakala futhi nokuthi abanikazi njengoba yayikade isiwe kwa BMW abanikazi bayo kwakade kuBanakoma Fleet and Shuttle ukuthi bawushishini nabo bese ke kubonakala nokuthi abanikazi abaqala bakade bayo leyo number plate uCT79 VY YZGP kwakade le ese ishintshiwe manje ishintshele ku JPP 660 EC kuyabonakala ukuthi kukhona ubufakazi uma kuqhubekwa kuyiwa ku page 8.
Now, Mr. Matlo, the fact that the lawful owner at the time was Banakoma Fleet and Shuttle, is that indicative of anything?
But in this case, it appears as if it was a rental company.
Manje njengoba ukuthi ithi abanikazi bakade kuBanakoma Fleet and Shuttle ikhona into ongayisho uthi kubonakala engathi kwakade kunabantu abaqashisa imoto.
Thank you. That's all as far as the first affidavit is concerned. If I can ask you then to turn to the second affidavit. Page 2, paragraph 3.1.
Page 2.
My Lord, I was on duty on Thursday, 14th of September 2023, and I received a request letter in the bracket, it's SAP 21, close bracket, from Brigadier B.N. Gilinda, an investigating officer attached to SAPS National Cold Case Unit, as per Phosphorus case 636/10/2023. No, I've just noted that I made mistake here on 2023. It was supposed to be 2014.
Uthi yena ke wayekade semsebenzini nge-14 zika September 2023 la ukuthi uye wathola ukuthi afune ulwazi ebekade elithola leyo email noma leso sicelo sibuya ku Brigadier B.N. Gilinda ukuthi uphenya icala leli eliku 636/10/2014 kodwa lana ukuthi wenze iphutha ubhale 2013.
It's paragraph 3.2.
My Lord, I was requested to assist in establishing the following.
Yena uye wacelwa ukuthi awufune ulwazi oluthize
Whether any of the below mentioned person ever applied for any license or driving license between the period of 2013 December to December 2014.
ukuthi abantu abalandelelayo bona baye bafaka isicelo na se-license noma i-learners kusikhathi kusukela ku-2013 December ukuya ku-2014 December.
Whether such documents were issued or not, and on what dates.
Ukuthi labo bantu baye banikwa na ama-license noma ama-learners futhi banikwa ngayiphi i-date.
Indicate the process of doing such application.
Futhi usho nokuthi bona balandelele miphi imigomo ukuze bafake leso sicelo.
Must the applicant be physically present at the testing station to do such or not?
Futhi labo bantu kwamele babe khona ukufaka leso sicelo noma cha.
Any other activity you can pick up around the above period, insofar as the details is provided.
Usinike na noma uliphi ulwazi ungaluthola ngalawo malanga esinike wona.
Any renewal of vehicle license by any of the below listed person in and around Boxbed area in particular.
Mhlawumbe usinike futhi nokuthi baye bayofaka izicelo zokuthi ama-license wabo aze alungiswe kabusha phecelezi ukuthi arenewe lawo ma-license.
However, any other information will assist.
Noma uluphi ulwazi ongasitholela lona lizosiza nalo.
Any documents like ID or any form of identification provided by any of the persons mentioned during the transaction, including the address and the contact details.
noma yini ukuthi baye bayikhipha mhlawumbe amapasi noma yini abaye bawakhipha ngaleso sikhathi befaka lezo yicelo.
The letter also provided me with the name of the accused.
Futhi ke le ncwadi ibekade ibhalwe namagama wabasolwa.
The names are as follows,
Nawo amagama ayalandela
and the ID number.
nama ID number wabo.
Muzika Kulelwa Stemba Sibeya.
Muzika ukhulelwa Sithemba Sibiya.
ID number is 860121593303.
Nayo ke ID number njengoba ayifunda.
Fizokuhle Ntuli. ID number is 860110561208.
Fisokuhle Ntuli ne ID number yakhe uyayifunda lapho.
The other one is Mtokosizi Zipozonke Mapisa.
Nomthokozisi Zipho Zonke Maphisa.
The ID number for the purpose of record is 851046202081.
Nayo ke ne ID number yakhe umthokozisi Zipho Zonke Maphisa.
Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi.
Bongane Sandiso Ntanzi.
ID number is 901206197083.
Nenombolo yakhe yomazisi uyayifunda lapho.
Tobisi Prince Mnube.
Nomthobisi Prince Ncube.
ID number is 850403605808.
Nayo i-ID number yakhe ibhaliwe lapho uyifundile.
May I proceed, my Lord?
Yes, yes, paragraph 4.
My Lord, in compliance with the request, I directly accessed notice and searched for the requested information.
Yena ke ukuthi alandelele lesicelo uye wangena kuyo isystem yakhe eye-notice.
And I'm satisfied that the requested information that I found on notice are facts and transactions that had been registered or recorded on notice in terms of Section 77 of the National Road Traffic Act for the purpose of the said act.
Yena weneselekile ke ukuthi into azitholile kuyo i-notice izinto ebezikade zibhalwe ukuya ngomthethosisekelo owakade ubhalwe umayelana nayo i-notice.
Then I further checked the Muzika Kulelwa Stemba Sibeya with ID number 860121593303.
Qhubekile wabheka imininingwana yakhe umuzika ukhulelwa Sithemba Sibiya.
Notice records, my Lord, indicate that an ID number 86012159330383 belongs to MS Sibeya, referred to as an accused, and his cell phone number is 082-066-2705, and his street address is Sutu Hostel, N43, Fosloras, postal code is 1459.
Futhi ke yona yabonisa ukuthi umuzika ukhulelwa Sibiya uMS Sibiya yena ubekade inombolo yakhe yocingo esebenzisa u-082-066-2705 yena ehlala eSuthu Hostel N43 Fosloras postal code 1459.
Are you able to go into the system to show these particulars?
Ungakwazi ukungena ku-system usibonise nezinto okhuluma ngazo ukuthi bizoyenza njalo.
Yes, my Lord, I'm looking. My Lord, if you can check there on the screen, as I've indicated that there's menu for each and every transaction that you do on notice.
Kwasenkantolo njengoba besesengishilo ukuthi kuna yonke into oyidingayo kule system uma wenza umsebenzi othize.
That because you want to check the personal particulars of the accused, you will simply go to number 5.
Manje ke ngoba sidinga imininingwane yakhe umsolwa sizoya ku number 5.
Which is 551, as shown on the far left as person query.
Ukuthi yona ibizwa u-551 bonisa ke ukuthi kudingeka imininingwane yalowo.
I'm now going to input the ID number of the accused on the space provided.
Uyayifaka ke i-ID number yakhe umsolwa
8601215933 083. And I'll then press enter, then the information will appear.
uma eqeda kufaka i-ID number uma ecofa u-enter kuvela yonke le mininingwane.
Yes, can you just put the name, the cell number, and the street address?
My lord, the surname is Sevilla and the initials is MS. The full names are not captured here, but only the initials. The date of birth is 1986-0121. The cell phone number provided is 082-066-2705.
Kule mininingwane ke akubhalwanga igama lonke noma amagama wonke ngokuphelela, kodwa njengoba iqeda kufaka i-ID number ibonisa isibongo sikaSibiya bese ama-initials athi MS, date of birth ibonisa 1986-0121, bese ke inombolo yocingo ithi 082-066-2705.
The postal address is Soto Hostel, N43 Fosloras.
Ikheli lakhe ke libonisa iSuthu Hostel N43 Phosphorus.
The postal code is 14159.
The postal code is 1459.
Thank you. You can then revert to your affidavit. Page 4, you are on paragraph 4.1.3.
Ngabuyela ke ku-affidavit yakho ku-paragraph 4.13.
My lord, on the 17th of July 2014, at 12:33, 23 seconds, Netis records as shown on page 1 of annexure MCC 01.
Kuyabonakala ke Nkosi yenkantolo ukuthi ngo-July ama-record nawa ayasho
Indicate that Netis transaction 706, which in the brackets is record pre-booking, was performed on the accused ID number 860121593383.
iyasho ke ukuthi kuye kwaba nokuthi umsolwa yena afake isicelo sokuthi udinga ilanga.
A Netis transaction 706 allowed the pre-booking of driving license and learner's license.
System ke yona iye yamvumela ukuthi kungahle kubhukhiwe abhukhele i-license noma i-learners.
In other words, applicants are allowed to phone the relevant call center of the driving license testing center, which is the DLTC, and make telephonic booking.
Ekuchaza ukuthi lo muntu wayekade evunyelwa ukuthi angashaya ucingo alishayele lapho kuleyo department yama-license ukuze akwazi ukubukha ngocingo.
The call center or the DLTC will initiate the booking.
Bese ke i-call center leyo ke izomnika i-booking.
But no payment will be made and reserve the session.
Kodwa ayikho imali ezokhokhwa bese ke uyanikwa noma lelo langa liyagcinwa.
Yes.
My lord, the recorded pre-booking of the said accused is related to a learner's license code 3 application as shown on page 2 of annexure MCC 01.
Leyo ke bekade kukhulunywa ngokuthi ubakade efaka isicelo sayo i-learner's license. Njengoba kubonakala kubufakazi.
Are you able to show the annexures on the screen?
Uthi ke ungasibonisa leyo nto okukhuluma ngayo lapha.
I'm going to input the ID number of the accused,
Uthi ngizofaka ke i-ID number yakhe umsolwa
8601215933 and I'm going to specifically on this date, on the 17th of July 2014.
bese ke uzoya ke yena ayofaka le yakhe lango July 2014.
Yeah, if you can check, my lord, on the top right, it says CA12, query audit information per person entity.
Uma kubhekwa ke iyasho ukuthi leyo into eyacelwa umsolwa noma umuntu obekade laphayana noma ebekade efake ucingo.
I'm going to the bottom one where it says record pre-booking.
Bese ke uzoya lana ke
And I'll
la
pre-
ithi record pre-booking.
And I'll press enter on it to check who was assisting the accused.
Uzoqopha ke u-enter ukubona ukuthi umsolwa wayekade esizwa ubani.
Here it shows that the official that was assisting the accused is RJ Mokgoatlheng.
Ibonisa ke lana ukuthi umuntu obekade esiza umsolwa u-RJ Mokgoatlheng.
It also shows the transaction type, which is record pre-booking.
Bese ke iyasho nokuthi lapho bekade efake isicelo sokuthi udinga ilanga.
It also shows the office where the pre-booking was made,
Uyabonisa futhi lehhovisi ukuthi wayekade esifake leso sicelo.
which in this case is Brakpan.
Lapho ubonisa ukuthi wayekade esifake eBrakpan.
It also shows the computer workstation which the official was using.
Ibonisa futhi nokuthi leyo msebenzi loyo obekade esebenza lapho wayekade esebenzisa station.
If you go to the bottom row where it says the reference,
Uma uya phansi la ku-reference
it shows the booking reference number
nayo inombolo eyokuthi eyokubukha i-reference number yakhona.
as 401 0000 G435.
Nayo inombolo yakhona u-401 0000 D435.
It also say first available appointment reserved indication. It says no.
Manje iyabonisa nokuthi ilanga ebelikade likhona ebelikade liye lacelwa la ithi cha.
My lord, if I go further and press enter on the same menu, it shows the DLTC infrastructure number where the applicant was assisted.
Ibonisa futhi nenombolo yalapho umsolwa wayekade esizwa khona.
And the learner's license test type code which the applicant applied.
Efake nesicelo ibonisa futhi nesicelo sokuthi wayekade efaka yiphi inhlobo ye-learner's license.
In this case, it's code 3.
Lapho kubonisa ukuthi kwakade kuyi-code 3.
And which code is that?
Code 3, my lord, it allows you to drive motor vehicles that exceed 3,500 kilograms. Commonly known driving license code such as C1, EC, but they're commonly known as code 14.
Manje ke lana ibonisa ke izoya ke kuleyo kuzena futhi leyo mo ibonisa ke ukuthi license lebekade kufakelwa isicelo kuyo phakathi ku-code 14.
And it also shows here it shows the learner's license booking date.
Ilanga elokubukha leyo learner's license.
In this case, the applicant was given in 2014-0722 at 10 o'clock.
Yena umsolwa ke wayekade enikwe ilanga lokuthi uzoya nge-22 July 2014 ngo-10 ekuseni.
The learner's license booking date made date is 2014-0717.
Ukuthi yena wayekade efake isicelo saleyo learner's license usifake nge-17 July 2014.
When you go to the bottoms where it says learner's license test status, it says booking unconfirmed.
La ukuthi uma uya ke phansi lana ukuthi i-status saleyo learner's license lana ithi i-booking ayizange i-confirm.
In this case, it simply says that the accused was intended to write a learner's license on the 22nd of July 2014.
Lapho ichaza ukuthi umsolwa wayekade kwamele azobhala i-learner's license yakhe 22 22nd
July.
Gate 22 July 2014.
But a payment has not been made yet to confirm the date.
Kodwa ke wayekade engakakhonji ukubonisa ukuthi lelo langa uyalithatha ngempela.
If I go back, my lord, to page 2 of 42,
Futhi ke uma ngibuyela emuva ku page 2
there is another transaction that is performed on the said day.
futhi kunenye i-transaction eyayenzwa ngalo lelo langa leyo.
I'm going to click on it just to see what was happening here.
Futhi uzovula-ke ukuthi kwenzakele njani.
In this case, my lord, the applicant was confirming the date which was provided to him when he was doing the pre-booking.
Lapho nje ubekade evuma noma esekayithatha lelo langa ebekade elifakile isicelo sakhona.
And just explain pre-booking, what is that? What does it mean?
Okay, pre-booking, you simply reserve the space to write a learner's lessons on a certain date.
Lento ebizwa phecelezi i-pre-booking ukuthi wena usewuyacela ukuthi ababekele lelo langa lelo eyukuthi wena ufisa ukuyobhala i-learner's license ngayo.
And how is it done? Online, in person, or what is the position?
You are allowed to approach the driving license testing center, or you can call. At the time, remember it was in 2014. At that time, you were allowed to walk in or call.
Manje ke umuntu wayekade enza njani ukuze afake sona leso sicelo uthi ungakhohlwa ngaleso sikhathi kwakade ku-2014 umuntu wayekade engavunyelwa ukuthi angangena noma angahle ashaye kucingo.
Yes.
Okay. Furthermore, when I just wanted to check press the enter to check the difference of times of pre-booking and the date in which he confirmed the booking.
Manje uzocofa ku-enter abheke ilanga isikhathi sokuthi wasifaka nini isicelo leso nelanga ukuthi savunyelwa nini.
My lord, I'm checking the difference of time here. It simply says that the applicant went in person.
Ubheka-ke isikhathi lapho sithi umsolwa uye waziyela.
Because the time in which he confirmed the booking is 12:45:33.
Ngoba umsolwa yena uye waya laphayana isikhathi sibhale 12:45:43.
And the pre-booking was made in 12:33:23.
La ukuthi-ke yena kubonakala ukuthi kuye kwavunywa ngalapho isikhathi sasithi 12:25:33.
Furthermore, my lord, what I've noted is that the workstation or computer that the applicant was confirmed with the booking is not the same that the one that was used when he was doing a pre-booking.
Futhi-ke kuyabonakala ukuthi la bekade kusetshenzelwa khona akufani nala ubekade umsolwa ebekade efake eshaye ucingo khona.
Even the official that was assisting him to confirm the booking is not the same that was assisting him to reserve the pre-booking.
Naye umuntu lo bekade emsiza akafani nalo yana obekade emsize ekuqaleni.
Because the one who confirmed, the official that confirmed who received the money is identified as M.I. Hendrik.
Ngoba lo othole imali yena igama lakhe kubhalwe M.I. Hendrik.
And the one who assisted him to reserve the date is R.G. Mokgoatlheng.
Lo bekade emsiza ngalesikhathi eshaye ucingo kwakade ku-R.G. Mokgoatlheng.
Yes. You can then proceed from where you left off on your affidavit.
Baqhubeka-ke
Okay.
Paragraph 4.1.5.
paragraph 4.1.5.
Okay, thank you, my lord. On the 17th of July 2014, at 12:45:33 seconds, Natis records as shown on page 3 of Annexure MCC 01. Page 3 of Annexure MCC 01.
Nge-17 zikaJulayi kuyabonakala-ke ukuthi isystem yabo iye yambonisa lezinto ezilandelayo.
Page 3 of Annexure MCC indicate that Natis transaction 721, which is a application for learner's license, was performed on the accused ID number 8601215933083083.
ukuthi ke kuye kwafakwa isicelo sayo i-learner's license kule nombolo yozaziso.
My Lord, a notice transaction 721 is used to record an application for a learner's licenses.
Leyo lapho ke kuyaye kucelwe ukuthi umuntu ufaka isicelo sokuthi ukhelwe i-learner's license.
The official that initiated and concluded this notice transaction 721 on computer workstation ID 43190004 at Brakpan DLTC is identified as M.I. Hendricks with notice user number 4010A04Z.
Umuntu ke ukuthi uye wasebenza kuleyo computer obekade esiza lo muntu yena wayekade eseBrakpan u-M.I. Hendricks.
My Lord, that is record further indicate that the said accused has made a cash payment of 108 rand for learner's license application, and he was issued with receipt number 414010045 JK8Y as shown on page 4 of Annexure MCC 01.
Futhi ke kuyabonakala ukuthi umsolwa uye wakhokha imali elingana no 108 rand wanikwa ne-receipt.
My Lord, a notice transaction 721 can only be performed if the applicant has been authorized to undertake a learner's license test, and the applicant is compelled to make an application in person as prescribed in section 17 and regulation 103 of National Road Traffic Act 93 of 1996 as shown on page 5 of Annexure MCC 01.
Manje ke lesi sicelo siyenziwa umuntu odingayo yena i-learners noma i-license leyo ngokwakhe.
My Lord, if I may be allowed to read out section 17 of National Road Traffic Act, where it says application for an issue of learner's license on Annexure MCC 01 page 5.
Nkantolo ngicela ukufunda ke lo ukuthi umthetho uthini ngaso ukufaka isicelo sayo i-learner's license.
Yes, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. It reads as follows, subsection 1. Subject to the section 24, a person desiring to obtain a learner's license shall in person apply, therefore, in prescribed manner to an appropriate graded driving license testing center. Subsection 2. Upon receipt of an application in terms of subsection 1, the driving license testing center concerned shall, if it is satisfied from the information furnished in the application or from such further information, as such center may reasonably request that the applicant is not disqualified from obtaining a learner's license, determine a day and a time at which the applicant shall present himself or herself to be examined and tested by the examiner for driving license in a manner and in respect of matter as prescribed.
Uyafunda ke usuperintendent lapho ukuthi umsolwa yena ngokwakhe kwamele aye lapho ayofaka leso sicelo futhi lapha ayakhona kuleyo department bangahle bacele imininingwane yakhe ukuze bakwazi ukumvumela ukuthi angabhala i-learner's license njengoba umthetho usho njalo.
It's fine, you don't need to read any further. Is there perhaps a form that is being completed when?
My Lord, the form that is completed is marked application for learner's license, which is LL1.
Yes.
Khona na ifomu ekuthi yona iyagcwaliswa uthi yakuyikhona ibizwa LL1.
And is there a reason why the person must report or appear in person to apply for a learner's license?
My Lord, there is a reason for that, because you need to make a declaration that you are not suffering from fainting due to hypertension. You also have to make a declaration as well that you don't suffer from any diseases that may render you to be capable of driving or controlling a motor vehicle, which might be a risk to other motorists.
Sikhona na isizathu esiyenza ukuthi umuntu kwamele aziyele lapho uthi yebo sikhona isizathu kungahle kuzobuzwa ukuthi awunaso isifo sokuwana lesi esingayenza ukuthi ube yingozi uma sewushayela noma awunaso esinye isifo esingayenza ukuthi ube yingozi kwabanye abantu abashayela imo.
My Lord, you are also subjected for an eye test.
Bazokuhlola futhi namehlo.
And you must also make a declaration that you are not suffering from you are not suffering or addicted to the use of drugs having nicotine effect.
Futhi ke kwamele nawe usho ukuthi wena awusebenzisi idakamizwa ukuthi zingahle zikukhinyabeze ekuthini uthole i-learners noma i-license.
And that you are not suffering from the excessive use of intoxicating liquor.
Nawe ke kwamele usho ukuthi wena awuphuzi amanzi amponjwana kakhulu.
And that you are not prohibited to apply for learner's license or driving license by reason of any disqualification.
Phinde futhi uchaze ukuthi wena akukho la uvinjelwe khona ukuthi ungafaka isicelo sokuthi ube ne-learner's license.
You must also make a declaration that you are not suffering from uncontrolled diabetes.
Kwamele futhi uchaze nokuthi wena awunaso isifo soshukela
And uncontrolled epilepsy.
nokuthi awunaso isifo sokuwa.
And that you are not suffering from any form of mental illness
Phinde uchaze nokuthi awunaso isifo sengqondo,
which require you to be detained or supervised or controlled.
isifo sengqondo esenza ukuthi wena uvalelwe noma uhlale ubhekiwe.
And be admitted as a patient in terms of Mental Health Act number 18 of 1973.
Nokuthi futhi wena mhlawumbe kwamele uyisiwe esibhedlela esithize salabo abasebenza ngeyingqondo.
Then if the station is satisfied that you don't fall into that category, a date and a time for you to write learner's license will then be issued to you.
Bese ke izothi uma bona sebenelisekile ngemva kokuthi babuze yonke leyo mibuzo kulaye ukuthi bazokwazi ukuthi bakunike isikhathi nelanga lokuthi ungaya uyobhala.
And you also need to make a declaration that you realize that furnishing a false information will amount to a fine or 1 year imprisonment or both.
Esinye isizathu ukuthi wena kwamele uyosho ukuthi uyazi ukuthi uma uphana ngemininingwane engasiyona lokho kungahle kube icala naye ukuthi ungahle ubhadale ifine noma uyohlala ejele unyaka.
You can proceed to page 6, paragraph 4.1.8.
Asiye ke ku page 6 ku paragraph 4.1.8.
Page 6.
Yes.
Page 6, paragraph
4.1.8.
4.4.
1.8.
Okay. My lord, a notice record as shown on page 6 of Annex MCC 01 indicate that the said accused was authorized to undertake a learner's license test on 22nd of July 2014. And his test results were recorded as fail at Pragpan Driving License Testing Center by the examiner for driving license identified as Zulu T with the initials TPC with notice infrastructure number 49512BCW.
Manje ke lapho kuyabonisa ukuthi umsolo wayekade eyobhala ilicense ilearners yakhe nge-22 zika July ukuthi kubonisa ukuthi uye wayoyibhala eBrakpan yena akazange apase lapho uye wafeyila ebekade ehlolwa uZulu TPC umuntu obekade esebenza laphayana eDepartment of License.
And you've attached the relevant annexure, page
Yes,
6
yes.
on MCC 1.
Yes, if we may go to page 6 of Annex MCC 01, my lord.
Futhi ke ufakile lobo bufakazi obubonisayo lento asanda kufunda.
If you check from the top, it says the learner's particulars.
Lapho phezulu iyasho ukuthi imininingwane yakhe nomuntu bekayobhala.
Name is Sibeya MS.
Igama lithi Sibiya MS.
The identity type that he provided is a RSA ID document.
Yena uye wabanikeza ipass lakhe.
The ID number is 860121593303.
Inombolo ile eqeda kufundwa.
The learner's license testing center particulars infrastructure number is 000118886, which is Pragpan DLTC.
Uyasho ukuthi futhi uye wayobhala eBrakpan.
The next row it shows the learner's license test particulars.
Kushiwo futhi nemininingwane yo yakhe yokuyobhala.
Here it says learner's license code. It says motor vehicle excluding MC.
Kuthiwa ke imoto bekade lapho ayoyibhalela imoto ukuthi ayihlanganisi uMC
In this case, it simply means that the learner's license code that he applied qualifies him to drive any motor vehicle except a motorcycle.
Lapho kuchaza ukuthi imoto yena ufake isicelo sokuthi angashayela noma yiphi imoto ngaphandle kwesithuthuthi.
The test date that was confirmed is 2014-07-22.
Isuku leli bekade iyobhala ngalo isuku le 22 zika July 2014.
The test time is 10:10.
Imizuzu eyishumi nanye ngemva kwehora lesishumi isikhathi salabe kade eyobhala ngaso.
The test time that he finished to write is 10:55.
Yena uqede ngemizuzu emihlanu ngaphambi kwehora lesishumi nomuvo.
His test results were recorded as fail.
Imiphumelo kuthiwe ufailile.
The learner's license test number which was provided to him when he was applying for an application of learner's license was 401-00010 D435.
Nayo ke inombolo eyikuthi bebakade bemnike yona ngalesikhathi eyobhala.
On the next row, it indicates the examiner particulars who was conducting the class.
Bese ke kubalwa ke umuntu lo bekade enaye ngaleso sikhathi wayekade eyobhala.
Yes, you don't need to read that into the record.
Okay.
And there's also the points that you obtained in the different categories.
Yes, my lord. My lord, if you can check on the categories, on the rules of the road, there are 30 questions. So he managed to score only 13 and the pass rate is 22.
Manje ke kumithetho yasemgaqweni kunama point awu30 yena uthole u13 ukuthi upass ukuthi ze upass kwamele uthole mhlawumbe u22.
On the road traffic side, there are 30 questions. Here he managed to score 18.
Kuma sign womgwaqo ke nakhona kunemibuzo eyi30 yena uthole u18.
Unfortunately, the pass rate is 23 points.
Ukuthi kwamele ukupasa kwamele athole u23.
On the motor vehicle control, there are 8 questions.
Bese ke la ukusebenzisa imoto ke kona kunemibuzo eyishagalombini.
In this case, he managed to get 5.
Yena uthole u5.
Unfortunately, the pass rate is 6.
La ukuthi bekwamele athole u6.
Thank you. We can then revert back to your affidavit.
Kubeke ubuyele kwi-affidavit yakho.
I think paragraph 4.1.9 on page 6.
Okay. My lord, on the same day, on the 22nd of July 2014, at 13:55:09, notice record as shown on page 7 of Annexa MCC 01 indicate that a notice transaction 706, which is record pre-booking, was performed on the accused ID number 86012159333083. The official that initiated and concluded a notice transaction 706 on computer workstation ID number 43160043 at Boxback DLTC is identified as BP Melamo with notice infrastructure number, with notice user number 4009A0J2.
Ngalo lelo langa uma eqeda kubhala eqeda kufeyila uye wafaka isicelo ukuthi ufuna ukubhala futhi khona leso sicelo usifake nge22 zika July 2014 wasizwa uBP Molamu ebekade ese Boxback.
You've just put in record that the date on which he undertook the learner's license was 22 July 2014 in Brakpan DLTC, but on the same day, 22 July 2014, an appointment was made at the Boxback DLTC. What does that signify?
After he realized that he failed, my lord, he didn't want to give up, so he proceeded to the nearest driving license testing center to make a further application.
Manje kusho ukuthini njengoba uthi ubhale eBoxback eBrakpan kodwa lesicelo sifakwe eBoxback uthi njengomuntu obekade eqeda kufeyila yena wayekade ezimisele azange afune ukuthi alahlele ithawela uye waqhubeka waya kwi-stage eseduze ukuze ayofaka isicelo sokuthi angabhala futhi.
And in which language was the learner's license test in Brakpan conducted on the 22nd July 2014?
My Lord, in this case on the system is not captured because it was a handwritten learner's license, it was not computerized.
Manje ke kusetshenziswe ilimi ngalesikhathi kube kade kubhalwa leya learner's license yaseBrakpan uthi akubhalwanga ngoba kade kubhalwa ngesandla yayikade ingasetshenziswa icomputer.
But are you familiar with the questions themselves, the categories that have mentioned, as to in which language they are couched?
I know Mnisi, there's also in Afrikaans and in English. I'm not sure about other languages.
Kodwa uyazi nawo ukuthi kaningi kuyaye kusetshenziswe luphi ulimi uthi uyazi ukuthi yabhalwa ngeSpedi, yabhalwa ngeAfrikaans, nesingesi akazi ngalamanye amanye.
Yes, you can proceed.
My Lord, the recorded pre-booking of the said accused is related to a learner's license code 3 application, as shown on page 8 of Annexure MCC01.
Futhi ke kuyabonakala ukuthi wayekade efuna ukubhala yona futhi leya learner's license lebekade eyibhalile.
On the 22nd of July 2014 at 2:07 in the afternoon, 42nd notice record as shown on page 9 of Annexure MCC01 indicate that a notice transaction 721, which is an application for learner's license, was performed on the accused ID number 8601215933083. A notice transaction 721 is used to record an application for learner's license. The official that initiated and concluded this notice transaction 721 on computer workstation ID number 43160035 at Boxberg DLTC is identified as Z Sewana with notice user number 4009A0J0.
Futhi emini ngalo lelo langa i-22 zika July ngemizuzu eyisikhombisa ngemva kwehora lesibini emini kuyabonakala ukuthi uye wafaka isicelo futhi sokuthi ufisa ukubhala futhi yona leyo learner's license eyikuthi ubekade efisa ukufaka leso ukubhala lapho ebekade esizwa uZ Tsiwana lo bekade esebenzela eBoxburg.
My Lord, the said accused has made a cash payment of 108 Rand for learner's license application, and he was issued with a receipt number 40901269PT9 as shown on page 10 of Annexure MCC01.
Uye wakhokha ke imali elingana no 108 Rand yena wanikwa nereceipt.
My Lord, a notice transaction 721 can only be performed if the applicant has been authorized to undertake a learner's license test and that the applicant is compelled to make an application in person as prescribed in section 17 and regulation 103 of the National Road Traffic Act as shown on page 5 of Annexure MCC01.
Leso sicelo ke isicelo ukuthi siyafakwa uma umuntu ezimisele ukuthi uyobhala i-learner's license ukuthi ishiwo umthetho sisekelo.
Furthermore, a notice record as shown on page 11 of Annexure MCC01 indicate that the said accused was authorized to undertake a learner's license test on the 2014-09-15 and his test results were recorded as passed at Boxberg DLTC by the examiner for driving license identified as Nombe Treza ZZ with notice user number 4009A0CH.
Futhi kuyabonakala ukuthi uye waqhubeka futhi ugcine sekuthi ubhalile nge-15 zika September 2014 ebekade ebhale e-learners ukuthi ugcine sekuthi uyayiphasa la bekade ehlolwa uNombe Treza ZZ.
My Lord, if I may allow to go to Annexure MCC01 page 12 just to check how was the points that he acquired at Boxberg. For the purpose of record, my Lord, from the top it says the learner's particulars, Sibiya MS, the identity type is RSA, ID document. The ID number is 86012159330833. The learner's license testing center particulars is infrastructure number is 000014618 Boxback DLTC. On the next row, it shows the learner's license test particulars. The learner's license the license code is motor vehicle. In the bracket, it says excluding motorcycle. The test date was on the 15th of September 2014. The test time was from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. The result is passed, authorized, and issued, meaning that the accused passed and the results were authorized and it was issued with the learner's license. The learner's license test number is 40090018 BGM. The examiner who was conducting the class at the time, the examiner infrastructure number is 49512 CS3. The name of the examiner is Mokgoatlheng ZZ. The learner's license test category particulars, my lord, if you were to check under the category of rules of the road, I've already indicated that there are 30 questions. So here he managed to score 23, and the pass rate is 22. The road traffic sign, there are 30 questions. He was able to score 27, and the pass rate is 23. The motor vehicle controls is 8 questions, and he was able to take to get total, and the pass rate is 6.
Manje ke lapho ibhala imininingwane yakhe MS Sibiya la yokuthi ne ID number ishiwo ubonisa ukuthi ubhale eBoxback wayekade ehlolwa uNombetleza ZZ ukuthi wayekade emhlolela yona i-learner's license uye wayipasa la njengoba besisekashilo usuperintendent ukuthi kwakade kunemibuzo 830 yena uye wathola 23 ukuthi i-pass rate kweku 22 yena kwimibuzo 830 eminye elandelayo yamasayini womgwaqo uye wathola 27 wa ukuthi u-pass rate kwaku 22 futhi emigaqo ekusetshenzisweni kwemoto ubekade kunemibuzo 8 uye wathola u8 ukuthi pass rate kwaku 6.
Is there an indication of the language in which the test was conducted?
It is not, there's no indication because it was a handwritten learner's license, not computerized.
Kuyabonakala na ulwimi ebelikade lisebenzisiwe lapho uthi cha akukho la kubonakala khona ngoba kwakade kungabhalwa ngecomputer kwakade kubhalwa ngesandla.
Yes, you may proceed.
Uh, 4.1.16. On the 15th of September 2014, at 13:55:47 seconds, NATI's record as shown on page 13 of Annexure MCC 01 indicate that NATI's transaction 722, which is the authorization of learner's license, was initiated and concluded on computer workstation number 43160036 at Boxback GLTC by the official identified as Z1 with NATI's user number 4009A0J0.
Kuye kwabonakala futhi ukuthi uZwana yena uye waphana ngayo leyo learner's license lebekade ikhishwa eBoxback.
My lord, the said accused has made a cash payment of 60 rand for issue of learner's license certificate, and he was issued with the receipt number 400901226B6JZ as shown on page 14 of Annexure MCC 01.
Ukuyithola leyo learner's license uye wakhokha imali elingana ne-60 rand ukuthi uye wayikhokha bamnika ne-receipt.
NATI's record, my lord, further as shown on page 15 of Annexure MCC 01 indicate all the applicants that were examined for learner's license testing on 2014-09-15, test time from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Futhi ke ama-record wabo ayabonisa nabo bonke abantu abaye bahlolwa ngalelo langa kusukela isikhathi uma ku-12 ukuya ku-1 emini.
Furthermore, my lord, a search was conducted for learner's license application form completed by the accused in 2014 as mentioned in Regulation 103 of the NRTA Act, and it has not yet been found, notwithstanding Section 78, subsection 1 of NRTA states that a document purporting to be an extract from or a copy of or any register or record kept in terms of this act and purporting to be certified as such shall in any court and upon all occasion be admissible as evidence and shall be prima facie proof of the matter stated in such document without the production of the original register or record or any certificate, license, other document, microfilm or computerized record from of which such extract or copy was made.
Futhi ke kuyashiwo lapho ukuthi kuye kwafunwa naso isicelo leso esiye safakwa kodwa sizange sitholakale kodwa kuthiwe noma ubuphi ubufakazi obungaba khona bungahle busetshenziswe enkantolo njengobufakazi oyikuthi bona bukhona futhi bungasebenziswa njengoba umuntu wayekade efake leso sicelo.
Thank you. That concludes then your testimony as far as MSCB is concerned.
I also want to indicate, my lord, that for the fact that the file was not retrieved, in relation to section 78 of subsection 1 of NRT 8, I did certify that the electronic information annexed here to SMCC 01 in relation to the accused are facts and transactions that were registered or recorded on notice by authorized person in the ordinary course of business as prescribed by the provision of the National Road Traffic Act.
Manje ke njengoba ikuthi file ayizange itholwe eyakhe umsolwa yokuthi wayekade efake leso sicelo futhi uye wagcina seyikuthi uyitholile leyo license yena uthi uye wathatha konke obekade kubhalwe lapha ukuthi leso sicelo siye sayenziwa futhi siye sathathwa ukuya ngomthetho sisekelo obekade ubhaliwe lapha.
Can you just put that page?
Okay, it's
the relevant page where you make this certification.
The second affidavit, page 24 of 27.
Uthi ke lapho uye wabhala khona ubhale ku page 24
under number 9.
Ubhala ku paragraph 9.
9.1.
9.1.
Okay. Right, we've already, page 9, we've already dealt with Mokgoatlheng Tuli. Perhaps when we return from the long adjournment, we can start at page 11, paragraph 6. Inspector from Mthokozisi Siposonge Mapisa.
Thomas Sibuya Sizoya ku page 9 siye ku Mthokozisi Siposonge Mapisa.
Page 9.
Page 11.
Oh, page 11. Okay, page 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
Malotas, it's almost time for the long adjournment. Are we
What's the
proceeding
time
or
now?
are we
What's the
proceeding?
time now?
It's about 2 minutes to 1.
Yeah, let's come back at 2.